It's a Sunday night matinee here at Cantine Field in Saugerties, New York, between two teams that know how to win. The Saugerties Stallions take on the Amsterdam Mohawks. Hello, everyone. Welcome into our Ulster Savings broadcast booth. I'm Logan Brandish, alongside my broadcast partner in John Drager. And John, the Stallions have won 3 games in a row. The Mohawks have won 4 games in a row. It's a big matchup in the East Division.
It is indeed. I mean, the Mohawks have had the Stallions number all season long, but with how everyone is slowly contributing in the batter's box, making the defensive plays, it could be for one of those tight classic matchups in the PGCBL.
Amsterdam 4-0 against the Stallions so far this year, including 3 wins in the early going here at Cantine Field. It's going to be a big matchup for the 5th overall meeting between these two teams, and the Stallions looking for their first win against the Mohawks since their championship victory last year.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a similar story to what happened last season. 3-8 in the regular season the Stallions had against the Mohawks, but they won when it mattered. 2-game sweep in the championship series. They're looking to have a little bit of history repeating here this time, taking care of business tonight.
We'll see if the Stallions can get that first win as we now head onto the field and look at the defensive alignment for the Saugerties Stallions tonight. Looking at the infield, it'll be Kip Fugers making a start at first base. And welcome back to Saugerties, Max Codier. First game in Saugerties since 2019. He'll be at second. Alex Rodriguez on at short, and Brandon Fish going to be on at third. The outfield, David Shackelford getting another start at the left field spot. Jelani Rogers back in the lineup at center field, and TJ Adams going to be in at right. And Nico Amer going to be the catcher tonight for your starting pitcher in Jake Colkhorst.
Yeah, and Colkhorst, he had a little bit of a rough outing in his first ever start this season for the Stallions against Mohawk Valley, I believe. He didn't really get out to a nice hot start. He had trouble finding the zone. He's looking to change things up here, especially with a bunch of college recruiters looking at him as his name's in the transfer portal.
He spent last year at TCU, didn't get any playing time during his freshman year. Taking a look at his last game against Mohawk Valley, went 1 inning, allowed 5 runs and 6 walks, only allowed 1 hit in that game. In what you said, John, was his first start. This is going to be his 7th appearance on the year and 3rd against the Mohawks.
Yeah, and he's looking to really tone it in. I believe Rich Doobie is really trying to hope he has success right here. And what a start to have with the Mohawks top hitter in Gage Miller stepping up.
Leading things off will be Gage Miller, the second baseman. First pitch coming from Colkhorst on the day is going to be pop foul, and we're underway from Cantine Field. And taking a look at Colkhorst stats against the Mohawks, in his last appearance against them, went 3 innings, allowed 3 runs and 4 walks, but struck out 3. Colkhorst ahead early on Miller, 0-1. Pitch coming, and that was going to be fouled back as well. Jake already had 0-2.
Yeah, and that's a huge 0-2 to be in. Miller is coming out very aggressive in the box, swinging at everything early, making sure that he can get a jump on some fresh meat in the starting rotation.
Miller hitting .392 on the year so far for Amsterdam. Does have 5 home runs. 0-2 from Colkhorst going to be looked at from Miller. It's going to find the dirt. So Miller able to stay alive.
Yeah, it seems like Colkhorst is really trying to work his magic here, really trying to slow down the tempo.
Colkhorst looking for his first out of the day. 1-2 on the way, and breaking ball almost finds the zone. That one just missed inside, John.
Oh, I thought that just caught the bottom edge, and taking a look at the Cantine speaker system, they don't seem to agree with the umpire.
That speaker system being controlled by Kyle McMullen today. Count even for Colkhorst. 2-2 coming, and that one's going to be grounded foul out towards the third base side. So Miller really working up the pitch count early on Jake.
Yeah, and that's something that the Stallions really have been struggling with. Pitchers finding themselves in early holes with the pitch count. They've been rising high right about the 20-30 mark. They just need to lower that down a bit.
We'll do it all over again here at Cantine. 2-2 on the way. Cut on and miss for strike 3. Colkhorst got him chasing on the high heater. That's strikeout number 1 for Colkhorst today.
And that's a big strikeout right there, taking down their top hitter, M. Miller, with a .393 average. That has to feel good.
That'll bring up Ian Petrutz, and it is the K-Man for today's game. Coming over from Maryland University. Colkhorst got 1 strikeout, now looking for another one here.
Yeah, and with one batter, and 1 strikeout out, Colkhorst is feeling it.
First pitch going to be looked at by Petrutz, and he's quickly ahead 1-0, but that's the start you want if you're Jake Colcourt. Struggled last time out, but getting that first out in a big way.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge confidence booster down the stretch, especially for the relief coming in later.
1-0 from Jake is cut on and missed for strike one. Colcourt's finding that fastball early on, and it's been effective.
It has been. I mean, he's slowly finding that strike zone and it's really working it very well.
Count even. 1-1 coming. The breaking ball going to be fouled back, and the K-Man in a 2-strike hole.
And that's something that Stallions fans are grinning from ear to ear. I mean, 4th of July weekend, what better time to have the K-Man strike out than right now?
Looking for some fireworks and 2-for-1s early on here at Canton. Colcourt already has 1 strikeout on the day, looking for number 2. Colcourt sets. Now 1-2, fired, is going to be checked. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3, and there's your strikeout for the K-Man. He delivers in the first inning.
What a way to start for the transfer portal product on the mound tonight. Jake Colcourt, 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. Everybody's feeling good right now.
Colcourt is rolling early on, and now 1 out away from a 1-2-3 inning to open up the first. Brett Coker looking to prevent that.
I mean, I believe this is probably one of the better starts that we've seen Colcourt have all season. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. I mean,
much needed from the TCU freshman. First pitch can now come in. Coker is going to hit him. That got him in the back shoulder area, and definitely not the first pitch you want to throw after that strikeout.
No, definitely not, but it could provide an opportunity. It prevents you from getting at least an extra base hit on a batter who has been hitting .389 with 8 doubles and 2 home runs. So getting him on base early and just leaving him at first could be a huge sign for what's next.
And now Zach Gardner coming up for Amsterdam, coming from Marshall University. Coker on at first with 2 outs in the top of the first inning from Canton Field. First pitch coming to Gardner. That's going to be hit out towards second. Codier able to grab it to his left. Throw on to first in time for the first out. First ball hits a Codier. He handles that one no problem. And Colcourt is able to get out of the jam early on. One man reaches on a hit by pitch, but that's all as we head into the bottom of the first inning. And it's 0-0 in Canton Field. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Bob Garrick Septic. Honest, dependable, reliable. If you need it pumped out, call Bob. And by Diamond Mills. World-class amenities and refined luxury. We head now into the bottom of the first inning, and it was a very eventful top half of the first inning as Jake Colcourt quickly found his groove.
Oh, yeah, 2 strikeouts and 2 batters, striking out the K-Man as well. It's a great start for the Stallions, but let's see if they can get the bats going.
Let's take a look at that starting lineup brought to you by Amatech, supplier to military and aerospace. Max Codier going to be leading things off for the Stallions, followed by Jelani Rogers, who moves down to 2. Brandon Fish in his normal 3-hole. Easton Bertrand going to be the cleanup man, giving Jake Scrine the night off. Kip Fuger is going to be back in the lineup at number 5. Heckert and Shackelford are going to be 6 and 7, respectively. TJ Adams in the number 8 spot. And Alex Rodriguez and Nico Amory going to round out the lineup after nights off for both guys yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a calm-me-down rest tonight, hoping to try to get back in the right mindset, especially for A-Rod, who has been struggling immensely at the plate.
And before we get to A-Rod on the bottom of that lineup, it'll be the first at-bat of the season for Max Codier. coming over from the University of Virginia. First pitch now coming to the lefty. Codier going to look at that one high for ball one. Codier coming over from Virginia after spending 2019 with the Saugerties Stallions, hit .246 with 10 RBIs in 36 games for Saugerties that year, and he pops the 1-0, and that leaves the yard, so count even.
Yeah, and taking a look back at his 2019 season, I mean, in 114 at-bats, registering 28 hits, 10 RBIs, no home runs. He hits to get on base, and I think that's what the Stallions need.
See a lot of contact and speed from Codier. 1-1 coming. He looks at that one high for ball two. And Holden Webb in an early hole against the leadoff hitter for the Stallions. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from the righty. Codier cuts and misses on that one for strike two. High fastball from him.
It looks like Codier really wanted a piece of that one. He thought it was going to be fastball. He sat back, he saw it, but he didn't see it was elevating up towards the top of the strike zone.
Count now even on Codier, looking for positive results in his first at-bat back in Saugerties. 2-2 going to be looked at high for ball three. And for Codier, he just came back to Saugerties about 2-3 hours ago, signed a contract, took some batting practice. Now he's back and leading off today.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough welcome early on. Not really getting used to the environment once again.
Full count coming to Codier. That one's going to be cut and fouled off as the catcher in black couldn't hold on to the foul tip.
That was a lucky break right there by Codier. He was lucky that black didn't really secure that ball in the glove, really forcing it. It just bounced right in and out, right out of the webbing.
So Codier continuing to battle to now a full count to the second baseman. Pitch on the way, and that one's going to be looked at high for ball four. So Max Codier able to get on in his first at-bat back in Saugerties.
And that's a huge base runner. It brings up Jelani Rogers, who has been really good at the bat lately. I mean, taking a look at his most recent track record, 3 triples, all of them coming against the Oneonta Outlaws, and currently on a 4-game hitting streak.
He is on a 4-game hitting streak. Also has 2 stolen bases in his last 2 games. So if he gets on, definitely going to be a threat to run. And Jelani, this is his first game in the number 2 hitting slot since June 14th against Albany. Typically been a leadoff hitter, and he takes the first pitch, high fastball for a strike.
I'm very curious to see how that spot as the number 2 hitter, usually batting leadoff, is really going to affect his approach.
He hit the number 2 spot a few times during the start of the year, including opening night. 0-1 coming to Jelani. That's going to be fouled back into the backstop, and that'll find the VIP section.
Seems to just got in right through a gap, but Rogers trying his best to stay alive here, and Cray is really trying to work Phelps right now.
Rogers with just 1 hit in 3 outings against the Mohawks. That came on the 3rd game of the year. 0-2 to Rogers, going to be hit out towards the right field side. A catch by Bush, and he tags the first base bag for the double play. Hard hit ball by Jelani Rogers, just in the worst spot imaginable.
Yikes, that was just a well-hit ball. And using his length, Cade Bush able to reach out, make the secure. It was going right down onto the bag as well. So it was a quick, simple swipe right down and
so
away.
The Stallions go from no outs to 2 outs just like that. And now Brandon Fish coming up for Saugerties. First pitch he sees is going to be inside for ball 1. Brandon Fish currently on a 9-game hitting streak. Had an RBI double in his 1 hit against the Outlaws yesterday. He's ahead 1-0. Pitch coming. Fish going to hit that one out towards shortstop. Another liner, but it's hit right to Coker for the 3rd and final out. That's how the side is going to be retired for the Stallions. It's still 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, or the top of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Dwyer Contracting. High quality craftsmanship in a family owned business. Ephros Orthodontics, smile provider for your Saugerties Stallions. And by Emerson Spa, a hidden treasure in the Catskills. We now head into the top of the second inning, and Jake Colkhorst looking to pick up right where we left off.
Yeah, taking a look back, he retired 3 out of the last 4 batters, and the only batter that got on was from a hit by pitch. So 2 strikeouts and a ground out already to start. He has to be feeling good.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Colkhorst. The only batter to get on while he was pitching was a hit by pitch. He hit Coker, the number 3 hole hitter. But it will be 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Amsterdam Mohawks. Both sides still looking for their first hit.
Yeah, and taking a look at right here, zeros across the board. And with Amsterdam, notoriously a good hitting team, batting about 312 on the year with 205 RBIs. They're able to put a bat to the ball.
And it'll be starting out with Cade Bush, the first baseman for the Mohawks, coming over from Florida State University. First pitch on the way from the righty. Colkhorst going to be looked at inside for a called strike 1.
Good place to start right there. Just go inside, work your way out, and have Bush chase.
It's a contrast from yesterday. We saw Jack Walker trust his breaking ball. Jake Colkhorst not wasting any time going to the heater. 0-1 now coming, and it's going to be fouled back by Bush. Another fastball.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. He just had trouble locating his fastball, Jack Walker did. And it was a little bit erratic, but when he came over with that curveball, it got batters swinging.
So Colkhorst quickly ahead 0-2 on Bush. Colkhorst fires. That one's going to be grounded out towards third. Fish coming in. Throw from the grass going to be in time for the first out. Back-to-back rounders forced by Jake Colkhorst, and there's one away.
Yeah, and that's a nice ground ball play right there. Fish able to just get right under that, get out in front, and just make the throw over. It seemed a little bit high for Fugers, but using his lanky arms, he was able to reach up and make a catch.
And now in comes Mark Black, the catcher. Played last year at Wake Forest, now going to transfer to Gardner-Webb University following the end of this year. First pitch coming from Colkhorst. Breaking ball going to find the middle of the zone for strike 1.
Seems like Colkhorst is slowly finding the strike zone hot and early right now, and the umpire, he's giving him a lot.
Black hitting .345 on the year so far, 11 RBIs. He's behind on Colkhorst 0-1. Pitch coming, and that breaking ball going to hit out towards third, but that goes just foul to the left of the third base bag.
Yeah, Mark Black, he really wished it would have curved right over that third base bag. No hits in his last 4 games and only 1 hit against Saugerties this season.
So Colkhorst has his second straight hitter in an 0-2 count. Forced the last one into a ground out, looking for strikeout number 3 today. Colkhorst sets. 0-2 coming. That's going to be popped up into the infield. Ranging towards the left side. Fish coming in at third. He'll make the catch right on the pitcher's mound for out number 2.
Yeah, so far these baseballs, they're not really traveling out of the infield. And Colkhorst, he's doing a great job just working all around on his spray chart, working out, then going back in, using his different sequencing pitches to vary his looks. It's all working well so far for the former TCU pitcher.
Yeah, we saw not a lot of flyouts in Oneonta yesterday. Still nothing out of the infield just yet. Now Paul Winland coming up for the Mohawks. And the first pitch from Colkhorst is going to be bounced in for ball 1. And looking at this Amsterdam lineup, Winland, a relatively new figure in there. Only 4 for 11 so far this year.
Yeah, and this is his first appearance against the Stallions. Just coming in not too long ago. So he's really trying to look and change up this Mohawk lineup, maybe add an extra bat on some new relatively off days for the infield.
Colkhorst behind on him 1-0. Pitch coming. That one's going to be high for ball 2. You take a look at Colkhorst last start. Around this time, he was already around 80 pitches or so. So far, he's at 19.
You know, a tale of 2 days. I mean, having that little bit of a conversation with Rich Doobie might have changed everything from him.
Colkhorst fires the 2-0. Cut on and miss for strike 1. Winland just ahead of the Colkhorst fastball.
Yeah, it seems like that fastball has been working for him. They're kind of waiting back on that off speed, and that's the perfect time for Colkhorst to just come in with a heater.
2-1 coming to the lefty. Winland's going to be hit foul out toward the third base side. That was hit in the air, just not in the right direction.
It was hit in the air. It seemed like it had nice carry, but a little bit late on that swing was Winland, and if he would have gotten a full piece of that one, that could have been dangerous.
Deuces wild. 2-2 count with 2 outs in the second inning.
That is the ultimate deuces wild.
2-2 from Colt Course. Breaking ball just wide left of the zone.
Now the deuces wild is full count.
It's no longer Deuces Wild instead.
It was one of the deuces wild of the season,
Yep.
Logan.
In the first inning, Colt Course retired the first 2 batters but failed to get out the third, looking to avoid a similar fate in this inning. Full count pitch from Colt Course, and that one's going to find the dirt for ball 4. First walk allowed by Jay Colt Course, and there's a 2-out runner for the second straight inning for the Mohawks.
And it seemed like Winland, he was very hesitant on that. A little bit of a pump right there in his swing. It looked like he wanted to take that, but saw it break a little bit earlier and hit the dirt. So good hold off right there.
Now another lefty coming up for the Mohawks, and Jacob Hand, the DH. And the Mohawks waited until about 20 minutes left in game time to announce that Jacob Hand was the DH. First pitch he'll see is going to be just inside from Colt Course. And Amsterdam pretty much had 8 of their 9 hitters in their lineup picked except for their DH when we first got it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It was a little bit of a struggle. It's an unorthodox way to show your lineup.
1-0 from Colt Course is going to be fouled out towards the first base side, and that'll hit the fence.
Yeah, I think talking to the Amsterdam broadcast guy and Ian Nichols, he had an idea it was going to be O'Shaughnessy, but we thought it was going to be Jacob Hand, and here we are.
You were right.
We were right. We were right.
Hand hitting .346 on the year so far, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. Count even on Hand. Runner on the move, 1-1 is high. Throw coming from Amory on to Rodriguez in time for the caught stealing. What a strike from Nico Amory, and that's how the top of the second comes to an end.
Wow, an absolute bullet right there. I mean, I don't think people have learned that Amory can fire it right down to the second base dish. Well done by that Stallion defense.
And that was almost a Benson steal for the Mohawks, but Nico Amory said no, and that's how the top of the second ends. It's still a scoreless game here at Cantine Field. Heart of the Stallion lineup coming up after the break. You're listening to Saugerties Stallions baseball from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by iMedView Incorporated, independent medical review, world-class results, and local connections, and by IXL Health and Fitness Club, keeping the Stallions fit all season long, and maybe John Drager too once in a while.
And not today. It was a little bit of an off day for me there. Gotta keep my body rested and prepared for what's to come tomorrow.
You heard it here, you heard it here, folks. John Drager takes off days.
Not from this.
Not for this, but from IXL Health and Fitness, maybe once in a while. We head now into the bottom of the second inning. Easton Bertrand coming up to the dish, and he has had a eventful past 2 games. Had a RBI triple yesterday in Oneonta, and his last home game here against Glens Falls, a 2-run home run.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to find a barrel on the ball, just able to drive it in, and a little bit of a mysterious and hidden type of power behind him, especially in his narrow stance.
First pitch he'll see from Webb is going to be looked at outside for strike 1. Bertrand, in between those 2 games, he did take a college visit a couple days ago. His plane got in late. Now 0-1 from Bertrand, going to be high, but he missed that home game here against Oneonta because his plane got in around 10 o'clock when the game ended.
Yeah, and it was a bad game to miss, especially for Bertrand.
1-1 on the way, and that's cut on and missed on a pitch in the dirt. Strike 2, and Talked a lot with Colin Martin about Easton Bertrand. He does love those pitches in the lower part of the zone. That's what he's swinging at there. Bertrand down 1-2. Pitch coming and to be looked at for inside. And the count even now, too.
Yeah, it seemed like Mark Black was almost ready to throw down to that third base line because he thought he was a punch out. But the umpire, he said, no, no, no. Give it back to the pitcher.
Bertrand hitting .225 on the year so far with 9 RBIs. Count even. 2-2 coming, and that one's going to be fouled back into the backstop by Bertrand. Went into the Amsterdam dugout as well. So Bertrand able to stay alive.
Yeah, and Bertrand slowly trying to creep up on Phelps' pitch count.
2-2 coming from Phelps. That's going to be cut on and missed by Bertrand for strike 3. First strikeout of the day by Holden Phelps. And there's one down in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough at-bat for Bertrand, but give him credit. He did up the pitch count of Phelps a little bit longer than he would have liked to. And Mark Black knew that, especially when he almost made that throw down the third base line.
Phelps already thrown 18 pitches so far in this one. Now Kip Fuger's coming up for Saugerties. He takes the first pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1. Fuger's had the day off on the road in Oneonta yesterday. In his last game, went 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts and that extra inning thriller. 0-1 coming to Kip to be cut on and missed for strike 2. Another high heater that Kip was just late to.
And you mentioned that 1 of 5 plate appearance against Oneonta. 3 of them, he went down on strikes.
His one hit was a bunt single as well. He's now down 0-2. Pitch coming, that's going to be fouled back into the backstop by Kip. Fuger's played 5 games, not including this one so far on the year. He has a hit in 4 of them. He went 0 for 5 against Glens Falls, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, he's really having a rough time trying to really get multiple hits on the year.
0-2 again. Fugers tries to check his swing, and he did not hold up. It's going to be called strike 3. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Holden Phelps.
Yeah, it seems like Fugers, he's having a rough time just really trying to settle into the box, read the sequencing, and figure out what to do, stay back on the off-speed, or go for those fastballs.
So both Colkhorst and Phelps coming in with 2 strikeouts right now. Brett Heckert coming up, takes the first pitch high for ball 1.
Yeah, and taking a look at Brett Heckert in this last stretch, he has a 4-game hit streak and 11 hits in his last 10 appearances.
He's ahead 1-0. Pitch coming. Heckert going to look at that one for a called strike on the inside. And Heckert's hit streak starting in that Mohawk Valley doubleheader. Got a hit in each of those games. Had 2 hits here against Oneonta. 1-1 going to be swung on and missed by Heckert. He was late on that one. He's down 1-2.
And it seems like the location is kind of confusing the Stallions right now. He doesn't really find where it's going to go and how it's going to break.
Heckert 0 for 8 against Amsterdam so far this year. He's only played in 2 games. 1-2 going to be looked at outside for ball 2. That one just low and wide. Brett looking to keep this inning alive for David Shackelford, who's on deck. 2-2 upcoming, and it's going to be bounced in, and it's full count on the Deuces Wild pitch.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Heckert, just kind of staying patient in the box, not taking it, because a few of those pitches he looked like he was ready to swing for the fences, but just holding up on there, you fought yourself back into a full count situation.
Phelps looking to strike out the side for the Mohawks. Full count upcoming. That one's going to be fouled back by Heckert just over the visitors' stands.
Looks like it sounded like he had a good piece of the ball. It just a little bit late on his swing. It just got the barrel and it flew right over the Amsterdam dugout.
We'll reset. Full count coming again. It's going to be taken high for ball 4. Second Stallion to walk so far on the day, and the inning stays alive.
And that's going to be a huge thing for David Shackelford coming up. I mean, currently on a 3-game hit streak and able to drive the ball into the outfield as well. We've seen it in Mohawk Valley. He managed to have that home run. He managed to have a home run here against Oneonta, and I believe game 1 late. So a little bit of a deceptive power behind Shaq.
And yesterday in Oneonta, Shaq went 2 for 2, was not retired, had an RBI and 2 walks. First pitch he'll see is going to be looked at outside for strike 1. You mentioned Shackelford does have some power behind him. 2 home runs on the year, including 1 in Mohawk Valley.
And that's tied for the team high behind Brandon Fish.
Shaq down in the count 0-1. Pitch coming and be bounced and stopped by the catcher, Black for ball 1.
It seems like Phelps is really favoring that lower zone. I mean, I've seen a good amount of pitches just trying to go low and have the Stallions chase after that into the dirt.
Count now even for Shackelford. Brett Heckert on at first. 1-1 going to be taken high. Shaq ahead 2-1. Shaq, one of the few veterans on this Stallion team coming back from last year. He knows just how dangerous Amsterdam can be, especially at this point in the year. 2-1 on the way to Shackelford. Going to be cut on and missed for strike 2.
And it seemed like he had the idea that it was going to be a fastball based on what some small tell that the people on the field can see. Just a little bit of a fastball. He had to go for it, sign the green light from the third base coach. He took it and missed.
Another 2-2 count. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be fouled back by Shackelford, and he stays alive in the count.
Yeah, and that's going to be a huge staying alive pitch right there. And now, looking like Phelps, his pitch count is slowly creeping up to about that 35 range.
As staying alive played on the PA system. Heckert getting a good lead off first. 2-2 from Phelps, going to be hit out towards center field. Giammarusti ranging to his left. He makes the grab for the third and final out. Shaq gave that one a ride, but that died out into the center field area, and that's going to be how the second inning comes to an end. Still no hits from either side so far in this one, and it's still 0-0 between Amsterdam and Saugerties. Don't go anywhere, more action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by J. Mullen & Sons Construction, Hudson Valley's trusted contractor for over 25 years. And by the Jolly Cow in Lake Katrine, because everybody loves ice cream. And I'm sure people who love pitchers' duels are loving what's happening right now here at Kansine Field. Jake Colkhorst back out for inning number 3.
Oh, and it's a good outing so far from Colkhorst. I mean, 2 strikeouts to start things off, and having balls not really leave the infield after 2 innings. So that has to be a huge boost in confidence going down the rest of the season.
The most Colkhorst has gone in a game this year was 3 innings. He's done that twice. The last time he's done that was against these Amsterdam Mohawks back on June 23rd, looking to complete his 3rd inning here at Kansine Field. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 in the Amsterdam lineup. Mohawks not rolling with a 10-man lineup, unlike the Stallions.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different look. Maybe that extra hitter could prove very vital to the Stallion offense.
Colkhorst firing the first pitch to Jacob Hand. That's going to go high for ball 1. Hand was up at the plate in the last inning, but when Windland was caught stealing, that meant the at-bat for Hand was also over. He's now ahead on Jake 1-0. Pitch upcoming, going to be taken in the dirt for ball 2.
It seems like Hand, he's staying a little bit more patient after having that first at-bat experience, in air quotes. He's really trying to slow down the tempo and just take.
Hand in command on Colkhorst. 2-0, going to go high for ball 3. The last bat at the Colkhorst faced in Windland was walked. That was his first on the day, looking to avoid walk number 2. Colkhorst looking for the strike zone. 3-0 coming, and to be taken outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Jake Colkhorst. This one comes on 4 straight pitches.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a rough way to start, but now with that runner on first working from the stretch, it could really change up how you go up against the 9-hole hitter in Giammarusti.
And now it's a runner on for Giammarusti. Hand sitting at first. He had 9 stolen bases in his collegiate year at WPI. Giammarusti coming over from Pitt University. Colcourse checks Hand at first, who has a sizable lead. And they'll be checked, and Colcourse almost had the pickoff in time, but it was dropped by Fugers at first.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate break for the Mohawks. A perfectly timed pickoff. Hand was slowly leading off that bag. Fugers had that. It just did not finish in the glove.
That was a beautiful move from Colcourse. Just didn't get the result he wanted on that one. Hand still getting a good lead off first. First pitch coming to Giammarusti. Breaking ball, that's just high of the zone.
I mean, taking a look at Giammarusti, he's going to take in the same idea that Hand had. Just stay back in the box and just sit on his pitches.
Colcourse was dominant early on, now starting to show signs of struggling. 1-0 going to be taken outside for ball 2. 6 straight balls to open up the inning for Colcourse.
Yeah, it seems like he's slowly losing his cool. Those first 2 innings were very helpful. Now he's losing his touch, and right now that's not what the Stallions can afford. I mean, they did use 2 pitchers last night and saved a few arms for today and tomorrow. Let's see if they can save even more.
Colcourse looking for the zone. 2-0 coming. That's going to find the zone. Outside for strike 1.
Maybe that'll jumpstart Colcourse and be like, all right, this is the zone. Let's work from there. Not worry about the mistakes.
Colcourse has found 18 strikes compared to 16 balls so far in this one. He's gotten the results he's wanted on the field, but it's taking a little bit for him to get there. Hand still getting a good lead off first. 2-1 coming. Hand on the run. Amory up to throw to Rodriguez. The tag not in time. Hand was able to slide around the tag, and it's a stolen base for Jacob Hand. It was a good throw from Amory, though.
Yeah, it was a great throw, but I'm very concerned to see what Jacob Hand just did. I mean, he started off leaning towards that first base bag just in case if Colcourse decided to try to do a pickoff attempt. But with that, I think just that little lean could have affected his power coming out and his acceleration burst heading to second.
The pitch was ruled a ball, so Colcourse still down at the count 3-1. Hand now on second with no one away. Colcourse looks back. 3-1 coming. That's to be taken inside for ball 4. 3 straight walks allowed by Jake Colcourse, and there's now 2 runners on, and Rich Doobie going to come out to talk with his struggling starter.
Yeah, and Doobie, he knows a lot. He's seen a lot of pitching. He's seen it in the Phillies organization back in 2008 when they won the World Series, so he knows what to do, and this is not a first for Doobie when walking out to the mound to see Colcourse and try to calm him down, and he looks like it's going to be a little bit of like a change in like, hey, really try to focus on throwing the ball in. It's just like a game of catch. Work on those mechanics. High release point. It seems like the arm slot's not really there. Just calm down and let's play the game.
I mean, Rich Doobie was a pitching coach since the late 90s with the Marlins, so when you talk about how many times he's had these conversations in the big leagues, it's probably a number that's impossible to count.
Oh, yeah, they're probably more than we can count on all of our fingers at least.
Probably way more than that.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Way more. Probably more than blades of grass here as well.
That's more like it.
That's more like it, yeah.
And now it'll bring up Gage Miller as we head back onto the field, and Doobie heads back to the dugout. 2 runners on, still nobody out in the top of the 3rd. Miller struck out swinging to open up the night. Colcourse checks back. First pitch coming to Gage, going to be bunt, popped up right to Amory, and he's able to catch that one in his glove. A big 1-pitch out for Jake Colcourse, and Nico Amory didn't have to move at all.
No, he did not have to move. It was pumped straight up. It was something like we saw yesterday against Oneonta. It seemed like Colin Mackel, he was going to go for the bunt. It popped straight up. The catcher made a big play to keep the runners stranded where they were, and right there, history repeats itself.
Gage tried to bunt the runners over, but didn't execute on it. And now the K-man coming up in Petrutz. He converted on that and back in the first, gave fans some early 2-for-1s to maybe tailgate or a little early for the 4th of July. First pitch going to be hit foul out towards the first base side. He gave that one a ride out towards right field, though.
It did. It looked like it was driving towards that right field line, but slowly fading away into the Amsterdam bullpen.
Slow claps coming from the Stallion bench. Petrutz quickly down 0-1. Maybe just misconstruing what the count actually is over there.
Maybe just starting a little bit early to try to pump up their ace on the mound today.
Mason Speaker started it, so if you want to blame anyone, blame him.
Yeah, former teammate from TCU. That bond is like this, Logan. Fingers crossed. Tight.
Colkhorst ahead on Petrutz 0-1. Pitch coming from Colkhorst, going to be fouled. This time not in play. Amory going to go check on it, but that goes over the backstop. And for the second straight time, the K-Man is in a 2-strike hole.
And you have to, for Colkhorst, I recommend going back to that fastball. It seemed to be working early on. Go for it. Maybe try to get it on that outside edge and have, I'd say, Petrutz really reach for that one. Have him reach out for that and try to make a defensive swing turn into a swing and a miss.
Now the slow claps come from the Stallion bench. 0-2 from Colkhorst to Petrutz. Pitch on the way, and that one's going to be bounced into the chest of Amory, and Petrutz still alive.
Talk about the rowdiness already. I believe that was the loudest claps we've heard in quite some time, Logan.
Well, the Stallions want these fans to really celebrate and get ready for tomorrow. Also the rest of today as well.
Exactly. Here we go again.
1-2 count coming to Petrutz. That's to be looked at, and it'll be called the ball in the lower part of the zone.
Ooh, that was a little bit of a close call right there. I thought that just nicked the inside edge of that strike zone. It was right there. Nicely located pitch.
Count now even for Colkhorst. 2 runners on and 1 out. 2-2 on the way from Colkhorst. That's going to be chopped up to the first base side. Fugers fielding it. Underhand throw onto first, and Colkhorst, they will make the grab for the second out. So nice play from Kip Fugers to get 1 out on that play, but didn't get the strikeout.
No strikeout, but it does give you the second out, and it does advance the runners to scoring position. But with the Stallions defense, they could get the job done and leave them stranded.
Hand now on third, Giammaruzzi on at second. 2 outs. And Brett Coker coming up for the Mohawks. He was hit by a pitch on his last at-bat back in the first. He's still 0 for 0. First pitch he'll see from Colkhorst can be bounced in and stopped by Amory. Corner infield playing very far away from their respective bags. Especially Kip Fugers, who doesn't have to hold anyone on at first.
No, not at all. It seems like they're going to try to play towards that third base line, especially with Coker pulling it to left field often.
1-0 on the way, and that one's going to hit Coker again. That one hit him in pretty much the same spot as the last hit by pitch, and now the bases are loaded for Zach Gardner.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea is. Maybe some sour talk between the two, but honestly, I think it was just 2 mishandled pitches right there.
In the first one, Coker tried to turn around and hit him on the back. This time, didn't turn around, just hit him flat out on the shoulder. And now Zach Gardner in a big bases-loaded opportunity. Already has 30 RBIs on the year. First pitch coming to Gardner's and be looked at for ball 1. And Colkhorst has already walked 3 batters, cannot afford a 4th here, John.
No, not at all. He's really got to settle down and try to keep this at a 0-0 game.
Colkhorst sets, fires the 1-0. It's going to be grounded out towards first. That goes under the glove of Fugers, and that gets into right field for a base hit. In comes Hand, and in comes Giammaruzzi. It's a 2 RBI single for Zach Gardner, and it's now a 2-0 Mohawks lead.
That was just a mishandled play right there by Fugers. I mean, he was right at the ball. He could have gotten that glove up, secured it, but it just sneaks right under him. Just some bad glove placement right there.
Colkhorst, it looked like he had the pitch that he wanted to get, but Fugers, who hasn't seen much playing time at first on the year, just let it go under his glove. We're still waiting to see if that would be called a hit or an error. I think it was called a hit.
It is called a hit.
The first hit of the game for either side. And now it's runners at the corners for Cade Bush. He looks at a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. It's a rough break for Jake Colkhorst, who almost got himself out of that jam, and instead the Stallions are down 2-0 early. Colkhorst ahead on Bush 0-1. Pitch upcoming, that one going to be looked at. Breaking ball goes low. Bush grounded out to Brandon Fish over at third to open up the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Colkhorst looks at the runner on first. 1-1 coming. That one's high, and Bush has to duck his head out of the way of that one.
Yeah, it seemed like Colkhorst is slowly losing his control once again.
Colkhorst pitch count around the 50 mark so far as we are still in the third inning. 2-1 count coming to Cade Bush. Pitch coming. Breaking ball hit out towards second. And Codier able to flip it onto Rodriguez for the force. And that's how this half inning comes to an end. But not before Zach Gardner drives in 2 runs on a single and opens up the scoring. It's 2-0 Mohawks. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. We'll be right back. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Main Street Restaurant, voted best Mexican restaurant in the Hudson Valley, and by Senator Michelle Hinchy. She represents you. It'll be the bottom of the Saugerties Stallions lineup looking to make up that 2-run top of the third that the Mohawks put up.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough outing right there for Colkhorst. I mean, able to face 7 batters, 4 of them getting on base. Just a little bit of a rough start, especially after those 2 great innings, only facing 7 batters.
Yeah, Colkhorst definitely faltered a tad in the third inning, but now the Stallions going to try and make up that ground. TJ Adams going to be the first to do so. Adams had the night off in Oneonta, but his last game played against the Outlaws here went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. Adams playing his 4th game following that hip flexor injury he had midway through the year. He goes first pitch swing, and that goes foul out towards the backstop.
And it seems like Adams is looking for a fresh new start after that hip injury. I mean, really changing everything, his pregame routine, his walk-ups on, everything.
0-1 coming. Adams going to chop that one foul out towards the third base side, and he's in a 2-strike hole. Adams just 1 hit in 3 games against the Mohawks. That came on June 5th, the 3rd game of the season. Adams with 2 hits coming back after coming back from injury. Those both came against Glens Falls. He's down in the count 0-2. Phelps has a sign. 0-2 coming. Adams going to be cut on and miss it for strike 3. Great fastball there from Holden Phelps. His 3rd strikeout so far, all of them swinging.
Yeah, it's seeming like that the Stallions are falling a little bit behind. Maybe it's a mixture of his off speed being a little bit slower than usual, so that a lower fastball like the mid to high 80s looks a lot faster than it actually is.
And now to bring up Alex Rodriguez, another player who had the night off, and he's looking for his first hit since that 1-0 Albany game. First pitch goes bouncing on him, and he's ahead 1-0. In his last game against the Outlaws, Rodriguez went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He's slowly seeing his batting average start to decline in recent days. 1-0 coming to Rodriguez, going to be taken for a called strike on the inside.
Yeah, I believe just like a couple days ago, his batting average was around that 259 area. As of today, 224.
Yeah, now even on A-Rod, looking to provide the Stallions with their first hit. 1-1 is high and outside for ball 2. And now with the addition of Max Codier to the team, it's going to be tough to imagine what the role for Rodriguez is going to be, how much playing time he's going to get in the future. 2-1 upcoming. Rodriguez and let that one go by him. That one went away from the catcher in black.
It is going to be a tough call. I mean, he's a really great defensive shortstop, able to get in front of the ball and make the throws, but the problem has been at the bat. His body language has been a little bit different as he slowly gets worse and worse in the batter's box, and it really translates into his defensive performance.
Right now he is ahead in the count 3-1. Pitch coming from Phelps. That's going to be taken for his called strike 2 on the inside, excuse me.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a take sign. He had the hitter's count. You might as well take that pitch, so it can be a full count situation here.
Pitch on the way. Rodriguez cuts and misses on it for strike 3. Rodriguez fooled on the breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts to open up this bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and that's the 4th for Heckert, and the 2nd straight inning where the first 2 batters he's faced went down swinging on strikes.
And now Nico Amory coming up, looking to keep the inning alive for the Stallions. Amory is on a 3-game hitting streak. He had the night off yesterday, went 1 for 2 against the Outlaws 2 days ago.
Yeah, most of them he got on to base via the walk, so he's really more of a patient approach player.
First pitch he'll see from Phelps going to be outside for ball 1. Yeah, Amory definitely been better in terms of his plate discipline. Had 2 walks in his last start 2 days ago. 1-0 coming, and he's going to cut on it, and that'll go foul into the Amsterdam dugout.
It seemed like Phelps was trying to go downstairs. Amory saw that, tried to take a hack out of that, tried to drive it into the outfield, but to no avail.
Amory does have 8 walks so far on the year. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, slowly catching up to Mason Speaker.
And Amory came to the team about a week late. First start was on June 10th. 1-1 going to be looked at in the dirt. Black able to corral that one, but with no one on, no harm, no foul.
No, not at all. I mean, just a little bit of defensive play, maybe save the baseball from getting a little bit more dirty than it should be.
Amory ahead on Phelps. 2-1 coming. That's going to be pop foul out towards the first base side. Bush racing for it, but that'll leave the field of play. Just 2 base runners have reached so far for the Stallions, both of them on walks, and they were from Codier and Heckert.
Yeah, and those 2 base runners, they stayed a little bit back in the box, really trying to work Phelps down in his pitch count, really trying to see what he does on the breaking ball, and then all of a sudden coming in with the fastball. That's where a good amount of the strikes are coming from. So just that sequencing is throwing off the Stallions just a tad.
So far only 3 balls hit into play against him. 2-2 on the way to Amory, going to be looked at low for ball 3. Now another hitter's worked a full count on Phelps.
Yeah, that's going to be a good thing heading down the stretch of the game. Just wearing down that starting pitcher's arm up until like that 80s count could really attain for the batters down the line.
Full count on the way. Breaking ball taken high for ball 4. 3rd walk allowed by Phelps in this one, and the first base runner in this 3rd inning for the Stallions.
I believe that's 3 base runners in a row reaching first base, none of them advancing to the second base bag.
And now to go back to Max Codier, another one of those hitters for the Stallions that did reach on a walk. He led off the bottom of the 1st with one of those, but was retired on a double play in the very next batter. Runner on first with 2 outs for the Stallions at the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch coming to Codier. A breaking ball finds the inside part of the zone. Codier kind of shaking his head after that one.
Yeah, he seemed a little bit disappointed in that. He thought it was the ball. He was like, all right, let's go here.
0-1 coming from Phelps. Another breaking ball. This one just high.
Yeah, it seems like he's setting up Codier right here for a little bit of an off speed. So he's like, all right, I'm going to sit back a little bit on the breaking ball. So then Phelps just go right in with the heater.
Nico Amory, not a big threat to steal at first. Only 1 stolen base. And Codier hits that one high out towards center field, but shallow. Giammarusti coming in. He'll make the grab out at center for the 3rd and final out. Stallions getting another base runner on a walk, but are unable to bring him around that first base bag. It is still 2-0 in favor of the Amsterdam Mohawks. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Mike Yanta, Custom Masonry and Excavation, and by Mirabella's Restaurant. Perfect for friends and family tonight and every night. Jake Colkhorst back out for inning number 4, looking to go for his longest outing of the season. His previous was that 3 innings pitched against Amsterdam, his last appearance against them, and looking for better results in this 4th inning.
Yeah, it seems like the Stallions are really trying to save arms right here. And Colkhorst, he had glimpses of great pitching back in those first 2 innings, but a rough 2 runs giving up only on 1 hit really made things turn south quickly. So able to get back into it, find his groove, could really prove vital here.
Just 1 hit so far for either side, and that hit brought in 2 runs. It was a single from Zach Gardner back in the 3rd. And now Mark Black coming up for the Mohawks. He popped up to the 3rd baseman and Fish his last at-bat, and he gets plunked on the first pitch. The 3rd batter to get hit by Colkhorst so far on the day, and the first one not named Brett Coker.
Yeah, I don't know what it's seeming like to be for Colkhorst. It looks like he's really trying to work that inside edge, but it's going a little bit far inside more than he anticipates.
And they've all been in the same spot, all around that front shoulder area. And that'll bring up Paul Winland with the runner on. Winland walked in his first at-bat, was caught stealing by Amory to end the 2nd. First pitch he'll see from Colkhorst is swung on and missed for strike 1. Colkhorst has 2 strikeouts back in the 1st, but that's been it. Runner on at first is Black. Still no outs for Colkhorst to work with. 0-1 upcoming. That one's going to be popped foul. That one ranging towards the Stallions dugout, and that'll leave the field of play. So Colkhorst now ahead 0-2.
Yeah, it seems like Winland really wants a piece of it. I mean, swinging for the fences already with a runner on.
Action taking place in the Stallion bullpen, so we'll see just how long Colkhorst will last in this 4th inning. He's still ahead on Winland 0-2 as the Shark music plays over the PA system from Kyle McMullen. 0-2 from Colkhorst, going to be high for ball 1. Amory had to stand up for that one.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to go back to that up and outside look, especially on the right-handed batter's box.
Black taking a big lead off at first. 1-2 coming. Breaking ball is going to go high. Amory struggling to hold on to it, but he's able to quickly catch up to that to keep Black at bay.
Yeah, it seems like Colkhorst, he's a little bit worried right here, especially with Mark Black up here, just slowly leading off that first base bag and staying patient, waiting for him.
Count now even on Winland 2-2. Colkhorst fires the 2-2. It's going to be fouled back into the back spot, and that'll land into the VIP section. Another ball that breaks through the netting right behind home plate.
Yeah, it seemed like he wanted to go with a little bit of an off speed, maybe some of a changeup. It looked like it had the break of a fastball, but just a slowed down tempo to it. And I think Winland really saw a fastball and just got a little early out in front.
We'll do it all over again. 2-2 from Colkhorst, going to be hit high out towards left field. That one very shallow in foul territory, and that'll leave play. Brandon Fish gave that one a look, but there was nothing he could do about it.
No, he started slowing down. He knew immediately as soon as he got right in between the midpoint, between the fence and the left field line, it was like, yeah, this ball is fading way foul.
It looked like it would stay fair off the first swing of the bat, but it just kept fading out towards that left side. So back-to-back foul balls hit by Winland to stay in the count. Colkhorst checks the runner at first. That's Black. 2-2 on the way. That one's hit high. Same spot out towards left field. And everyone's going to give that one a look, and that one goes foul.
Yeah, it looks like the same group of people in Fish, Rodriguez, and Shackelford were trying to make an attempt, but this time they learned from their past mistake, just like, all right, let's save the running for when a ball's actually hit and play.
I think that one just went a tad more to the left than the last one, so it was a bit more obvious that there was going to be no play. So the count remains at 2-2 from Colkhorst to Winland. Pitch on the way. It's going to be looked at just high for ball 3. And John, I don't know where that one missed.
I don't know how that missed either. It looked right there, painted that corner like Sherwin-Williams. Shout out Kyle McMullen.
So Winland has worked it from an 0-2 count up to a full count on Colkhorst. Full count pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit foul, and that'll leave the yard. That'll go just over the press box.
Yeah, it seems like Winland is smiling at that one. He's like, all right, I know I'm working this pitch count right now. I feel like I have him right here.
Colkhorst has thrown exactly 60 pitches so far on the day. So thrown a lot less pitches and a lot more innings compared to his last start, but still in a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, I mean, with a runner on first and a full count and Winland just not backing down from the box, it's going to be a rough at-bat here for the man on the mound.
Full count pitch on the way is going to be bounced for ball 4. That one gets by Amory, who struggles to find it, but Black will only take second, as it was a long at-bat which ended in a positive result for Amsterdam, negative result for Colkhorst.
Yeah, it was a well at-bat right there by Winland, just staying alive, fouling every ball off that looked like was about to reach the strike zone, and it turned into a free bag for him.
And now Jacob Hand coming up for the Mohawks. He led off that third inning with a walk and even stole second base once he was on the base paths. 2 runners on, 1 on first, 1 on second with no outs in the top of the 4th. Hand setting up to bunt. Colkhorst fires. That one's going to be pulled back by Hand. It's ball 1.
Yeah,
but Hand was setting up to bunt all the way.
Oh, absolutely. He did not even hesitate on that. It seemed like it could have been a little bit of a bait right there by Colkhorst to throw something ball-like, just outside and away.
Hand still ahead 1-0. We'll see if he has the sign to bunt again. Not showing it yet. 1-0 coming. No bunt. It's going to be looked at for strike 1.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a confusing idea right there. With no one out, why not bunt for Jacob Hand? But, hey, power to you, man. Power to you.
Gage Miller tried to bunt last inning, but popped up to the catcher and Nico Amory for an out. Very unproductive one at that. Count now even from Colkhorst to Hand. 1-1 coming, and he pulls the bunt, and he pulls back, but it's a called strike regardless.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just a mistake right there. You saw the look on his face. It was like, probably shouldn't have held back.
Fuger's now playing back. Fish, the third baseman, starting to move there as well. Colkhorst ahead 1-2. He fires the pitch. That one's bounced in, but Amory able to stop that one.
Yeah, Amory's doing a great job behind the plate at stopping these balls into the dirt, just going right past them. I mean, he's able to get out in front, use his big chest to just stick out, knock it right down in front of him, and prevent the Amsterdam Mohawks from getting both runners in a scoring position.
Count now even to Hand at 2. Colkhorst delivers. That one's hit foul out towards the third base side, and that lands in the Amsterdam bullpen. Almost does.
Yeah, it seemed like that break right there was going straight down the foul line, but then at the end just broke immediately towards that bullpen.
So for his last 2 batters, Colkhorst has been able to get it to 2 strike counts, but hasn't been able to finish the job. Looking to finish off Hand, the designated hitter. Looks back at second. Checks again. 2-2 coming. That's going to be cut on, but it's going to be fouled back as Amory was unable to corral that one to catcher.
Yeah, I thought that was a great pitch right there. Low into the dirt. Hand seeming to be a little bit more aggressive as the at-bat has gone along. And a similar game plan. Just wait until you find a pitch what you like. Take a hack at it. This time he just managed to just get one right into the dirt and just nick it off the tip of his barrel.
Colkhorst sets. 2-2 going to be bounced in. Amory going to stop that one at his chest. Another one at, it's another full count for Colkhorst.
Yeah, and Colkhorst pitch count, it's slowly getting up there, reaching towards the 70s as we speak.
Second straight full count scenario for Jake Colkhorst. Looking to set one down this time. Pitch on the way. That's going to be hit high out towards center field. Right at Jelani Rogers, who backs up a few steps. He makes the grab for the out, and the runner at second will not tag. Unproductive out for Jacob Hand, and a big out for Jake Colkhorst.
It's a very much a big out for Jake Colkhorst. I mean, having that pop up right there, I thought that ball was going to travel a little bit farther, but Rogers staying under that, getting his feet positioned, ready to make the immediate relay throw into the infield, and it was a bullet. Mark Black had to respect it and get back to that second base bag.
So now in comes Nick Giamarusti. He walked and came around to score his last time around back in the third. Still 2 runners on with 1 out for the Mohawks. Colcourse able to get that big first out last time around. First pitch coming to Nick is going to be taken high, and Giamarusti's kind of duck his chest out of the way.
Yeah, it's seeming like that upper inside corner for the right-handed batters has been a little bit of a struggle for Colcourse. I mean, it's going right near the batters, hitting 3 of them.
2 of them the same guy in Coker. Colcourse ahead or behind early, 1-0. Fires the pitch. That one's going to be fouled back into the backstop. Kind of right in front of where Jack Walker, the pitcher from last night, was working radar.
Yeah, just kind of sitting right there, just really looking at that radar, just making sure that Colcourse has been firing at an efficient rate. I mean, seeing what his fastball can do.
Count now even to Giamarusti coming from Pitt University. Pitch upcoming, and that one's going to be looked at. Went wide right. Amory kind of had to dive to make that grab.
Yeah, it's seeming like Colcourse, he's really trying to work on that breaking ball high and outside especially. Looking like he's going in and out, not really trying to hone back in and find that strike zone once again.
Struggling to find his location on those breaking balls in recent innings. Colcourse checks back. 2-1 on the way, is going to go low. This time it was a fastball. Black on at second, Winland on at first. Still 1 out in this top of the 4th inning. 3-1 from Colcourse on the way is going to be taken outside for ball 4. So Colcourse has now walked the bases loaded, and Colcourse going to have to work out of a jam yet again in this one. That is walk number 5.
And it seems like the Stallions are just kind of waiting for Colcourse to figure out this jam right here for Ryan Parker, who has been warming up in the Dallas Hot Winters bullpen for the Stallions. Try to finish up his warm-up and get ready for a loaded 5th+ inning.
Now in comes Gage Miller back to the top of the order for the Mohawks. Miller 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a bunt pop-up to Amory. Bases loaded with 1 out. First pitch coming to Miller's going to be hit out towards third base side. Fish onto 1, onto second, and that one goes wide of Fugers, and another run's going to score off of it. Fugers on to second, try to get to Codier, but will not be in time. So it's going to be 2 runs that cross for the Mohawks. Now 4-0 lead for Amsterdam as the Stallions almost had the double play they were looking for.
Yeah, it looked like a double play ball that could have kept Colcourse out of the inning, but a mishandle right there by Codier caused that ball to go right past Fugers, and from there, it just happened to go downhill.
Yeah, and Codier, if that throw was on target, the inning would have most likely been over, and 2 runs would have most likely been wiped off the board. And now it'll be back to the K-man and Petrus. Colcourse fires the first pitch breaking ball in for a strike. Runner on second with 2 outs for Colcourse. He's ahead in the count 0-1. Checks the runner at second. Pitch coming. That one's taken high for ball 1. Runner on at second is Gage Miller, who hit that ball.
Yeah, I mean, Gage Miller, he had an opportunity. It was a well-placed ground ball fish over to Codier like it was nothing. He just could not finish the throw over to first. And that right there is why 2 more runs came across.
Now count even for Jake Colcourse. Pitch coming and be taken high for ball 1. And it's been 4 runs that have crossed for the Mohawks. They've only have 1 hit so far in the early going.
Yeah, and that's because the Mohawks keep getting those free passes on base from Colcourse, just allowing them to just stay back in the box, wait for the pitches, and have him make the mistake.
Petrus so far at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. 2-1 is going to be taken inside, low and in for ball 3. And it's now a 3-1 count coming to Petrus.
Yeah, and Colcourse has been really trying to figure out what has been going wrong, and it's seeming like his day could be over sooner than expected.
Colcourse fires. That one's hit out to a shallow left field, and Codier able to make the running grab. Max Codier able to make up for his error earlier on in the inning, making a fantastic grab out towards shallow center field, and that's how the top of the fourth comes to an end.
Wow, Max Codier, welcome to Saugerties, or should I say, welcome back to Saugerties, Logan.
Welcome back to Saugerties, Max Codier, but the Stallions still have some work to make up. 2 runs came across on the error from Codier, and it is still a 4-0 lead for the Mohawks. Don't go anywhere, more action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Montano's Shoe Store. The best athletes were the best from Montano's. And by Peak Trading. Need to lift it up or tie it down? Peak Trading has the supplies. Be 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Saugerties Stallions. Still looking for their first hit of the day.
Yeah, and right now the defense has been flauntering a bit for Saugerties, but let's see if the bats can really make it up and give them momentum heading into the top 5th frame.
First, it'll be Jelani Rogers, the number 2 hitter, lined into a double play in his first at-bat back in the first. He'll be facing Holden Phelps, who has had a great start to his day. First pitch coming from Phelps. Rogers setting up to bunt, but that's pop foul out towards the backstop.
And we've seen Rogers do that first pitch bunt leading off. He's been able to get it down and just immediately book it the first using that blazing speed. He's looking to get another leadoff base runner here.
I think most recently he did that against Utica in their doubleheader, and it was a very successful one at that.
Yes, it was.
0-1 coming to Jelani. He's going to be cut on and missed for a strike 2 on the low breaking ball. Rogers had 1 strikeout in his last game 2 days ago against the Outlaws. Looking to avoid his first one here. 0-2 on the way from Holden is going to be looked at outside for ball 1. So Rogers staying in the count.
Yeah, Rogers being a little bit more patient, just kind of staying back, especially after those first 2 attempts.
1-2 coming. That's going to be bounced in kind of in front of the foot of Rogers. So the count even at 2. Jelani hitting .287 on the year so far with 7 RBIs. The last of those RBIs came against Oneonta on June 24th. 2-2 coming on the way. It's going to be a breaking ball called strike 3, and Jelani knew it.
Oh, he did. As soon as I came in and he had that take sign, he was like, yep, I'm going to take a seat here. I mean, a great pitch right there by Phelps.
And now Brandon Fish coming up for the Stallions. He lined out to the shortstop, and Coker, his last time up, he's 0 for 1. First pitch coming to Fish, going to be taken low for ball 1. Fish has done pretty well against Amsterdam so far on the year. Does have 3 hits. 1-0 coming, going to be bounced, and that'll get away from the catcher in black. So Fish ahead 2-0.
Fish, a little bit more of a potent hitter, leading the team in RBIs, batting average, and technically tied for first in home runs. He's looking to spark something here.
2-0 on the way to Brandon. It's going to be taken for a called strike in the lower inside part of the zone. You talked about Fish being tied for the lead in home runs. He had home runs in back-to-back games, but that wasn't until June 16th against the Outlaws. 2-1 coming. That one's hit hard out towards right center field. Going back is Gardner, and that'll get into the field for a base hit. Fish already on his way to second. He slides in safely with a double. The Stallions get their first hit of the night, and it was a hard-hit liner from Brandon Fish.
Yeah, that was a well-hit ball into the outfielder. That was carrying. It died down a little bit at the end, but he was on his horse hustling around the base paths. And now a runner in scoring position for Bertrand, who has had a hot bat as of late.
Bertrand looking for better results this time around compared to his last time where he struck out swinging back in the second. Bertrand batting with a runner on at second. That's Brandon Fish. Both sides with just one hit each so far in this one. First pitch coming to Easton's to be taken right down the middle for a strike. Bertrand has just played 2 games against the Mohawks so far this year. Does have 1 hit in 6 tries. That 1 hit did go for 2 RBIs.
It did. It really did.
Phelps looks back. 0-1 coming. That's cut on and missed. The high fastball caught Easton late.
Yeah, it really seems like Bertrand is trying to develop something here, really trying to work the batter's box and stay a little bit silent.
Fish getting a big lead off at second. Still 1 out. 0-2 coming. That's swung on and missed by Bertrand for strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 swings, and a strikeout.
Yeah, and that's the 6th strikeout right there for Phelps. It seems like he's having his way against the Stallions.
And now Kit Fuger's looking to keep the inning alive for Saugerties. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fuger struck out swinging his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Phelps checks Fish at second. Checks again. First pitch coming to Kip. It's going to be cut on and missed for strike 1. So 4 straight swing and misses forced by Phelps.
Yeah, it seems like Fugers, he was ducking a little bit down low, trying to upcut his swing and pop it up.
Kip looking for his first RBI since the second Mohawk Valley game. 0-1 coming. Fuger's going to look at that one outside for a ball. So Stallions finally not swinging.
Now they're going to play it a little bit safe, try to at least get another runner on board to help out Fish.
Fish getting a huge lead off at second. Miller holding him at second. Fish dancing off that bag. 1-1 coming to Fugers. That one's bounced in and stopped by the catcher Black. Throw on to second. It's high, but Miller able to corral that one. Nonetheless, Fish back in safely.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a close call. Fish had a huge lead off that third base bag. Black kind of saw that, tried to take advantage of it, but he managed to get right back. Gage making a big play to jump up and grab that one.
This is Fugers' first time playing against the Mohawks so far this year. 2-1 coming to Fugers is going to be fouled back over the backstop. Fugers, he did play with the Stallions in the recent past last year, so he does know just how tough this Amsterdam team is.
Exactly. He was a fan favorite on this Stallion team, and he's looking to try to get that status back.
Count now even to Kip, the fan favorite. A lot of fans out to see him today at Canton Field.
Especially on July 4th weekend.
Phelps looks back at Fish. 2-2 coming. That's cut on and miss for strike 3. That goes by Black. The throw on to first is dove for by Bush. He's able to get it in time for the 3rd out. So 3 strikeouts for Holden Phelps with a Fish double mixed in between that. It is still a 4-0 Amsterdam lead on the Saugerties Stallions. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. 5th inning after this. It's a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Dallas Hot Wieners bringing the heat out of the bullpen, and it's going to be Praxi Vigil, the first man out. Jake Colcourt's day is done, but for Vigil, it's his first appearance in 2 days where he got the win in the extra inning showdown against the Outlaws.
Yeah, and it was a huge showdown right there, and just in his 10th inning appearance, managed to shut things down. 1 strikeout, managed to get a flyout and a ground ball, so no hits on the night in his 1 inning of work, and he's ready to do the same again.
And Vigil's most well-known start so far this year, he went 5 innings early on in the season in a game against the Amsterdam Mohawks, allowed 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Didn't allow a run in his relief appearance against Amsterdam in that one.
No, it was a huge confidence boost before season because he had a little bit of a rough start early on, and then that Amsterdam came around, and he slowly got into a groove, and has a huge arm out of the bullpen for the Stallions.
Yeah, and in that game, it was the closest the Stallions were to defeating the Mohawks on the year. It was a 3-1 loss. So Vigil looking to keep the Mohawks scoreless to give the Stallions a chance to put up some runs on the board. As Vigil continue to warm up, we'll take a quick look at Jake Colcourt's line on the day. He pitched 4 innings, his longest of the season, allowed just 1 hit, but 4 runs. 5 walks and 2 strikeouts. Those 2 strikeouts came in his first 2 batters.
Yeah, and it was a great early on start for Colcourt. I believe he was nervous. He was going to get ready. He got settled in a little bit too comfortably, and it kind of went downhill from there.
Now Praxi's first victim going to be Brett Coker coming up for the Mohawks. Coker's had a rough day at the plate. He's been hit by 2 pitches on the day, so he's still 0 for 0. And now first pitch swinging, that's going to be popped up on the right side of the infield, and that's going to be Codier's all the way. He'll make the grab in the shallow right field side for the first out. Great start for Praxi.
Oh, absolutely. 1 pitch, 1 out already. That's a great boost right there, and he's continuing on his dominance on the mound.
And now it'll be Zach Gardner coming up for the Mohawks. He is 1 for 2 today with a 2 RBI single his last go around. Praxi has his sign from Amory. First pitch coming, and then Gardner going to foul that one off towards the first base side. Middle infield playing in the very shallow part of the outfield grass.
Yeah, it seems like Amsterdam early on, they're trying to get out in front on Praxi, really trying to work him down and get aggressive in the box.
Praxi ahead on Gardner 1-0 or 0-1. Pitch coming, that's hit out towards second, and that gets through the hole for a base hit. Back-to-back hits for Zach Gardner on the day, and there's a runner on first.
3 pitches, 3 pieces of contact for the Mohawks. It's looking like they're just going to swing at everything that Vigil has to offer.
So the Mohawks have a early runner on first with 1 out, and Cade Bush going to be coming up for Amsterdam. Bush grounded out in both of his at-bats so far today. He's 0 for 2. Runner on first for Vigil with 1 out. Praxi taking a long time to fire the first pitch, and now he'll lob it back over to first. And Gardner able to slide back in time. Praxi's thrown 3 pitches so far, with all 3 pitches being strikes.
Yeah, it's looking like he's really trying to deal here.
And now that streak going to be broken. That pitch was wide.
Yeah, a little bit inside for Cade Bush.
So the count now even on Cade Bush. Looking to move up Gardner. Stands on first. Praxi has his son. Pitch on the way. Setting up to bunt is Bush. That's right in front of Vigil. He'll take the out at first in time as Gardner able to advance up to second. So a successful sacrifice bunt for the Amsterdam Mohawks.
Yeah, it's seeming like they just want to put a runner in scoring position for Mark Black to just step up and try to rip one into a gap.
And now they'll give Mark Black a chance for an RBI opportunity. Black is 0 for 1 so far today, was hit and came around to score his last go-around. Mohawks have 2 runs in each of the past 2 innings. They lead 4-0 on Saugerties early on. Vigil checks the runner. First pitch coming. It's going to be bounced in and stopped by Amory for a ball. Praxi hasn't had to throw a lot of pitches so far today. It's only around the 8 or 9 pitch mark here.
Yeah, and he's slowly really trying to work these batters out. I mean, that's what V-Hill does. He's really slowing down the tempo.
1-0 coming. That one's high for ball 2. V-Hill hasn't walked many batters so far in the season. He had 1 walk against Oneonta, but it was an intentional walk. Before then, his last genuine walk was back on June 19th against Mohawk Valley. It's behind 2-0.
And it was an intentional walk that loaded the bases.
2-0 was fouled into the catcher's mitt of Amory, who seems to be okay. So it's now 2-1 upcoming to Black.
Yeah, and taking a look back at his last appearance against Amsterdam, I mean, you mentioned those 5 innings, only allowing 3 hits with a walk and 2 strikeouts.
Praxi this year with a 4.80 ERA has 15 strikeouts in as many innings this year. Amsterdam bullpen starting to see some action. Praxi looking to get back in the count. He's currently down 2-1. Runner on second with 2 outs. 2-1 coming from V-Hill. It's cut on and missed for a strike 2. V-Hill just 1 strike away from getting out of the 5th inning alive.
Yeah, and taking a look at V-Hill, he's seeming to go a little bit different in his variations of location and what he's going to show. A little bit off speed earlier on and then going straight to that fastball upstairs.
Stallions have 2 strikeouts as a team today. Those both came back in the first. V-Hill checks second. 2-2 coming. It's going to be high and inside for ball 3.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to paint that corner up and in, make sure to try to jam Black and have him at least put in a little bit of a dribbler so that the infield can just push in, make the throw to first, get back to the bats.
Black getting a big lead off at second. Middle infield no longer holding him as he'll be on the move. Big full count pitch from V-Hill. That one's pop foul, and that'll get over the backstop as Amory won't even give that one a look.
Now, he looked ready to go, but instead he just held off, waited a little bit, and just was like, all right, let's get a new ball going. We're getting out of this inning right here.
V-Hill looking to get out of this inning scoreless. Be the first scoreless inning for Saugerties since back in the 2nd. Full count upcoming with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Praxi shakes off the sign from Amory. Now he has one. He checks the runner at second. Full count pitch on the way. It's going to be looked at for a called strike 3. Big breaking ball there from Praxi V-Hill. His first strikeout on the day, and that's how this 5th inning comes to an end.
Oh my, Praxi V-Hill, you have done it again, my friend.
A scoreless inning for V-Hill and the Stallions, and they're still down 4-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Pitching change coming up for the Amsterdam Mohawks as Phelps' day is done, and in comes Luis Misla.
Yeah, and for Luis Misla, he didn't pitch since that June 30th game against the Albany Dutchmen, which they won 5-4. In 2 1/3 inning, giving up 1 run on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So he's looking to come in for some big relief here to keep this 4-0 lead.
Yeah, and it was a great day for Holden Phelps. Only allowed 1 hit. That was a Brandon Fish double in the last inning. Mohawks still holding a 4-0 lead in this one. And for Misla, he will be facing 6, 7, and 8 in the Stallion lineup. Misla continuing to warm up here, getting ready for his 5th inning of action. It was 4 innings of work for Holden Phelps. Taking a look at his final line. Only allowed that 1 hit, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts.
He had himself a night on the mound. I mean, 7 strikeouts, was able to keep the Stallions off the base paths. I believe he struck out the side once back in that 4th inning, but taking a look in the 2nd and 3rd, struck 2 batters to start out.
And now in comes Brett Heckert, the extra hitter. He walked his first time around back in the 2nd. First pitch from Misla is going to be taken outside for a strike. Heckert has a 4-game hitting streak, has 2 walks mixed in those days. 0-1 coming. Heckert can look at that breaking ball low.
Yeah, and having Heckert being able to hit the ball so well as of late has opened up a lot of opportunities to keep him in that extra hitter / designated hitter spot to give people like Cody A and go for the shot.
1-1 coming from the lefty. Breaking ball finds the middle of the zone for a strike. Heckert's yet to get the bat off his shoulders in this at-bat.
Looked like he's staying a little bit patient, really trying to find the sequencing on Misla.
And Heckert going to chop that one foul. It'll land in front of the catcher, Black, but the umpire ruled it was a foul ball.
Yeah, it seemed like that ball came right back up and hit Heckert's bat again, so a double foul ball right there by the pit commit.
Heckert spent his last 2 games in the top of the lineup, now sliding back to 6. 1-2 coming. It's going to be taken high. A nice catch by Black to keep that one from onto the backstop.
Yeah, it was right upstairs, but even if it went to the backstop, it was going to be no consequence.
So the count now even on Brett with no away. 2-2 coming. It's going to be chopped foul, and that'll find the Stallion dugout right in front of us.
Yeah, it did, and it happened to go right between Heckert's legs as soon as he fouled it off. So very creative ways to foul these pitches off.
Yeah, we don't normally see righties foul off pitches towards this side. We just saw it right there.
Yeah, right there, right between the wickets.
Count still even on Heckert. 2-2 coming. That's to be cut on and missed on a ball that found the dirt for strike 3. 8th strikeout on the day for the Stallions. All but one of them have been swinging strikeouts.
Yeah, they're getting a little aggressive, and it's just not creating contact on the ball. I mean, taking a look here, only 1 hit, and that was that Brandon Fish double.
Now in comes David Shackelford, the left fielder. Flew out to center field to end the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. First pitch coming to Shaq's going to be a breaking ball that finds the lower part of the zone. So Misla really trusting that breaking pitch.
Yeah, and the Stallions have had trouble with the breaking pitch so often. They like to go low into the zone, and it's just a little bit late on the swing.
0-1 on the way, and that one's popped foul. Black going to chase that one, but that will go well over the backstop. And Shackelford quickly in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, and Shackelford getting a little aggressive in the box already, just taking a hack at that one, 0-1 count, trying to foul that one off, but to no avail.
Misla back up here, looking to set down his 2nd straight Stallion to open up his relief outing. 0-2 coming. That one's taken inside for ball 1. That was close.
That was close. I mean, Shackelford staying a little bit patient, but it just broke enough to miss out on that lower edge.
Misla looking for his 2nd straight out. 1-2 can be swung on and missed for strike 3. The low fastball gets David Shackelford. That's Misla's 2nd straight strikeout. They've come back to back.
Yeah, those low fastballs have been also a bit of a pain for the Stallions. Just something low into the zone they're trying to reach for, and that low fastball was just enough juice behind it.
Now TJ Adams coming up. He struck out to open up the 3rd and takes the first pitch low for ball 1.
Yeah, Misla's really working quickly here.
Misla really picking up the pace, and the Stallions still getting used to it. 1-0 is going to find the inside part of the zone on the breaking ball.
Yeah, I think the Stallions having that quick pace is really having them a tough time to really get a gauge on Misla.
1-1 coming. That one's going to go low for ball 2. Misla rejects the sign from Black. He did so a couple times. Now 2-1 on the way, and that one's going to find the dirt for ball 3. So TJ Adams in a good hitter's count.
mean, able to have him go low into the zone and staying back on those pitches, not being as aggressive as the previous batters were, just sitting back is going to be a big benefit for him.
Adams ahead. 3-1 coming. It's going to be taken low for ball 4. Adams becomes the 4th Stallion to walk on the day, and he becomes a 2-out base runner for Saugerties.
Something that they like to do, 2-out magic. But with A-Rod coming up, this is a good time for him to break out of this slump he finds himself in.
Rodriguez went down really quickly against Phelps last time around, struck out swinging his last at-bat. And now Rodriguez with a chance to bat with a runner on. Adams getting a lead off first with 2 outs. First pitch coming to A-Rod's going to be a breaking ball that's going to go lower the zone. Misla comes into this one with a 1.29 ERA and 31 strikeouts. 0-1 coming. Rodriguez looks at the breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, he wanted to stay back on that one, waiting for a fastball, it seems like, from Isla.
Adams getting a decent lead off at first. Misla checks him. A long check over at first. Now 1-1 coming. Rodriguez cuts and misses on the pitches in the dirt. It's now 1-2, and that's the same pitch he struck out on last time.
Yeah, he really seems to like those low pitches just right down the middle. Seems to be not working out for him a lot.
Rodriguez in the 2-strike hole. 1-2 on the way. That's cut on and missed for strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Alex Rodriguez. The third for Misla in his outing. And that ends things in the 5th inning. Amsterdam still holding on to a 4-0 lead early as we head into the top of the 6th inning. More action coming up after the break from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Pretorius and Conrad, Civil and Environmental Engineering and Land Surveying, and by Rip Van Winkle Country Club. Bring your swing to the Rip. Praxi Vigil coming back out for inning number 2 of work, and the first inning he had went pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. Just taking a look back, ground out, only had that single, but from there on out, retired the rest of the side.
Vigil allowed 1 hit to Zach Gardner on a single, but he struck out Mark Black to end things in the top of the 5th to keep it at a 4-0 score, which is where we are right now in this one.
Yeah,
Vigil continue to warm up.
Yeah, it seems like the bullpen has really been helping out here, just able to sit down the rest of the side. 8 batters faced total in that 5th inning alone, only registering 1 hit and 2 base runners.
And there's a conversation taking place between Colin Martin and the third base coach for the Mohawks, which is now coincided, and Martin has headed back to the dugout.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what that conversation was. I mean, these are 2 coaches that have known each other for quite some time. They're very competitive. They all have the same goals in mind and really trying to get back to that championship series. And hopefully for the Stallions, they can repeat what they did last year.
Stallions in the last regular season went 3-8 against the Mohawks. This year starting out 0-4 and are losing that 5th matchup. Paul Windland going to start things up for Amsterdam in the 6th. First pitch from Vigil going to go low. Windland is 0-for-0, has walked in both of his at-bats. Came around to score last time around.
Yeah, that all came from that E4.
That was given up by Codier.
1-0 from Praxis, going to be hit out towards shortstop, but right at Rodriguez, who sends it on to first in time for the first out. Great throw there from Rodriguez to get a quick first out and retire Winland.
Yeah, and for Winland, that's a broken bat right there. You heard it from the immediate crack, no pun intended, of the bat.
And now Jacob Hand coming up for the Mohawks. He's 0 for 1 so far on the day. He walked his first time up and flew out to Jelani Rogers at center back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and early on in that last at-bat, he was showing bunt all the way and was flipping back and forth between those two signs.
Vigil has his sign from Amory. Pitch on the way from Praxis and be fouled out towards the Amsterdam dugout. Almost knocked over a Gatorade bottle on the side, but it was just wide left.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Gatorade, so I don't know if we should really say that.
There's a Gatorade bottle out there. I'm just pointing out what I see.
I know, maybe just a simple water bottle would be nice.
Vigil ahead early on Hand. 0-1 coming. That's cut on and miss on the breaking ball. It's now 0-2 count to Jacob Hand.
Yeah, and Vigil, he's really finding that strike zone early, similar to what we saw with Jake Colkhorst early on in the first 2 innings.
Praxis looking to set down Hand for the first time today. 0-2 on the way, and that's swung on and missed for strike 3. That breaking ball found the dirt. The second strikeout for Praxis Vigil, the first person to go down swinging on him, though.
Yeah, and that's a huge strikeout right there. I mean, able to go a few pitches into those first couple batters, saving your arm for what could be a long night on the mound.
And this is coming after his last start, appearance, which was 2 days ago, and Vigil already tasked to pick things up for the Stallions today. And now Nick Giammarusti coming up for the Mohawks, setting up to bunt, and he almost makes contact, but that goes foul. Made some contact kind of off the front end of the bat.
Yeah, looking like it was going to bounce right off the plate over the head of both the catcher and umpire and into that backstop. So Giammarusti trying to take a page out of the Rogers book and get on base via the bunt.
Of course, Rogers didn't come up successful on this game. 0-1 coming. No bunt from Giammarusti, but a called strike on the breaking ball from Vigil. So it's been a quick inning so far for Praxis, looking to set down Giammarusti for his second strikeout in a row. Vigil has his sign. Now sets up. 0-2 fired. It swung on and missed for strike 3. There's the high heater from Praxis Vigil. His second strikeout in a row and 3rd overall.
Wow, that was a nice located pitch right there. It seemed like it also jammed Giammarusti as well.
It did jam Giammarusti. It's the second straight scoreless inning from the Amsterdam Mohawks. We now head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Stallions looking for some run support. They are down 4-0 in this one. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Saugerties Athletic Association, where having fun is what matters, and by Sawyer Savings. Local banking is banking made easier. 10-1-2 coming up for the Saugerties Stallions. They're looking for their first run of the day, and it'll be Miesla coming back out for inning number 2.
Yeah, taking a look back, he managed to strike out 3 of the 4 batters that he faced, only walking TJ Adams on just 5 pitches.
Only one runner has managed to get past first base today. That was back on that Brandon Fish double back in the 4th inning. That was the only hit so far for the Stallions in this one.
Yeah, now coming up, we have the top of the order on deck in Max Codier.
But first, before the top of the order, to be Nico Amory coming up for the Stallions. Got on with a 2-out walk his last time around back in the third. Misla working very quickly in the last inning, fires the first pitch high and outside for ball one.
And we still see Misla still working quickly from his stretch.
Amory ahead 1-0. Pitch coming from Misla, and that swung on and missed for strike one. And back in that fifth inning, Misla didn't allow a ball to be put in play. 3 strikeouts and a walk in his 4 batters faced.
Yeah, and Nico Amory is looking to change that narrative right here.
1-1 to Nico. Breaking ball going to be fouled back. That'll go into the Amsterdam dugout. It was actually hit off the catcher in black's helmet.
Yeah, a lot of foul tips right back into the helmet of the catcher today.
Amory himself has had a few of those, and he's up to bat right now. Now finds himself down in the count 1-2. As time was quickly called by the pitcher in Misla.
Yeah, wanted to use that rosin bag right there, just get some grip.
Now sets 1-2 coming. That one going to go high and in. Amory has to kind of get out of the way of that.
Yeah, a little bit of what you like to call some chin music right there.
There was some chin music there.
Yeah, a little bit, and he had to duck out of the way. You got to keep that face intact for tomorrow.
2-2 coming to Nico, and that one's going to be grounded out towards the third base side, well wide of the third base coach, Adam Gray.
Yeah, he made an attempt right there, just couldn't really corral that one in.
It's kind of a just honorary attempt, I guess you would call it.
At least making the effort.
Courtesy attempt.
Trying to get the grade.
Amory managing to stay alive on Misla so far. 2-2 on the way. That goes high and outside for ball 3. Another 3-ball count for Nico, looking for walk number 2.
Yeah, not to be a huge leadoff walk. At least get something going for the leadoff hitter in Codier.
Stallions haven't had a leadoff runner since back in the first inning when Codier walked to open up the day. Full count pitch is going to be taken low for ball 4. And there's your leadoff runner for the Stallions. Nico Amory walks for the second time today.
Yeah, and that's a huge walk. He's slowly getting up there in the count, and something about catchers and drawing walks has been a very common theme here in Saugerties.
And now it'll be Max Codier looking to bring Amory around. Codier 0 for 1 so far. He flew out his last time up, but walked back in the first. Amory getting a lead off first. First pitch coming to Max, and that's going to go low for ball 1. Amory has 1 stolen base on the year so far. They came back on June 19th against Mohawk Valley in a game where he also had 2 walks.
Very fitting. Maybe we'll see that again.
The lefty and Codier ahead 1-0. Pitch coming from Misla is going to be taken. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That one on the inside.
Yeah, it seemed like Codier really was trying to sit on that one, but he's like, all right, I'll take that one. Now he's ready to work.
Lefty-lefty matchup as 1-1 coming on breaking ball. That one went too far inside.
Yeah, something I've noticed is that Misla is kind of slowing down his tempo now with a runner on first. Really trying to focus in here.
He is still behind on Codier. 2-1, going to be taken inside for a strike. So we know where Misla is trying to hit in the zone on Codier.
Looks like he's trying to work that inside edge, making sure that Codier gets a little bit jammed up and force a double play ball.
Amory starting to get a bigger lead off that first base bag. Count even. 2-2 to Codier. He's going to be taken high on the breaking ball. The second straight full count forced by the Stallions on Misla.
And taking a look here, it seems like there's going to be Hunter Thomas, the other catcher for Amsterdam, is going to head over to the bullpen and maybe get some action going in there.
Still no pitchers over there yet. Full count pitch coming to Max. It's going to be grounded. A high chopper out towards second. Miller comes racing in. The throw on to first. Did he get him? No, he didn't. Max Codier able to beat out the infield single. Welcome back to Saugerties, Max Codier. There's his first hit of the season.
And we were talking about this earlier before the broadcast. The speed that Codier has down that first baseline, a high chopper like that, able to just send it on in over the head of Misla, could result in some danger. Now, their second hit of the night, 2 runners on.
And now a mound visit coming from the Amsterdam Mohawks. The entire infield coming in. no one actively throwing in that Mohawks bullpen. There are bodies down there, so this could be kind of that calm me down type visit.
Yeah, it seems like the one pitcher that seems like working in that bullpen right now, he seemed to be warming up his shoulders, making sure his mechanics are going to be fluid.
And now the home plate umpire coming in to halt the mound visit. Misla had a relatively clean 5th inning, but back-to-back base runners reaching to start the 6th.
Yeah,
and Max Codier providing the 2nd hit for the Stallions on the day.
And with some very potent hitters coming up in Rogers and Fish, it's a good time to go in for that calming down. But let's see if the Stallions can really pounce on that opportunity.
And now following the mound visit, it'll be Jelani Rogers coming back out for his 3rd at-bat. He's 0 for 2 so far today with a double play and a strikeout.
Currently riding a 4-game hit streak. He's a little bit in danger of losing that one in this game.
He's still got some time to get that first hit, but is running out of time, like you said, John. Amory on at 2nd and Codier on at 1st. This time was called by Misla. Now steps back on the dish. Bush playing relatively in at first base. Misla has his sign. First pitch coming to Jelani Rogers, be swung on and missed on the high fastball for the first strike.
Yeah, I think the reason why that Bush and alongside Winland is somewhat pushing in is because they're afraid to see what Jelani Rogers can do when showing bunt.
Didn't show bunt on that first swing. Misla, a long check at Amory. 0-1 as to be bounced in and stopped by the catcher, Black. Count now even at 1. Count even on Jelani Rogers, looking to get on for the man on deck, and Brandon Fish already has an extra base hit, that being a double back in the 4th. Misla checks back at 2nd. 1-1 is hit high out towards left field by Rogers. Petrut's coming in at left. He's still ranging in. He'll make the grab for the first out, and both runners going to stay at bay.
Yeah, it was a well-hit ball right there by Rogers, but just got under that by a mile, just popped it up into the shallow left field, and now 1 out away, but still 2 runners on, so an opportunity to drive in runs is still there, Logan.
2 runners on for Brandon Fish, who has now made it a 10-game hitting streak with that double his last go-around. Lefty on lefty matchup, Wisla and Fish. First pitch coming to Fish, going to be taken outside for ball 1, and Black up quickly to keep the runners where they are.
Yeah, Logan, something I noticed is that there's been a little bit of change on the infield for Amsterdam. It seems like Winland is not there. Coker taking 3rd, and now Cameron Love at shortstop.
Fish ahead in the count 1-0. Misla fires, and that one's high and inside for ball 2. The Stallions continuing to take more and more pitches on Misla, and it's worked up till this point.
Yeah, it has. I mean, able to get things going, just slowing down the tempo and having Fish stepping up to the plate could be a scary sight for Misla.
2-0 on the way. Brandon going to swing and miss at a pitch in the dirt. And we talked about it on our show, Ranch Roundup, today. Fish hasn't really struck out too much so far on the year. He struck out yesterday. That was his first strikeout since June 24th against the Outlaws. Still ahead 2-1. Brandon going to look at that breaking ball for a strike. It's right down the middle, John.
Yeah, right down the middle. I think Fish is really just trying to stay back on that. Wait for that right pitch, just down Broadway lane and take it for a ride.
Misla starting to work back in the count. Back-to-back strikes thrown by Luis. Taking a long time to find his sign from Black. Now he has one he likes. 2-2 on the way. Fish looking at that one inside. No, that was a delayed strike 3. Brandon Fish goes down looking. Back-to-back outs for the Stallion offense.
I think Fish immediately knew as soon as that went in, he was like, yep, that's a strike right there. I'll take a seat.
Now that strikeout going to bring up Easton Bertrand, who has struck out swinging both of his at-bats so far. First pitch coming to Bertrand. That one's hit hard out towards right field. That'll send Love back on the warning track. He'll make the grab for the 3rd and final out. The Stallions get the first two runners on in the inning with a walk and a single, but are unable to advance any of them. And we now head into the 7th inning. Stallions still down 4-0. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Stella Artois. Grab an ice cold Stella at the Stallions watering trough. And by Steyrs, celebrating over 50 years of keeping you on the road. And Praxi Vigil back out for inning number 3. He has been lights out since checking in for Jake Colkhorst.
Yeah, only facing 7 batters, giving up 1 hit the rest of the time, striking out 3, forcing pop-ups and groundouts the rest of the time. He's able to get things going here on the mound and helping out Jake Colkhorst get the win, or at least a portion of the win, I should say.
And Praxi, he has struck out 3 batters in his 2 innings so far, but now going to be facing the top of the lineup for Amsterdam, who is looking to put up their first runs since back in the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, Praxi Vigil, we've been talking about how good he is, able to show what his fastball can do location-wise, but a little trick to him. Most of his pitches seem to be cutters, so it could prove vital and dangerous for the Amsterdam.
The first man to face Praxi in the 7th will be Gage Miller. It's 0 for 3 so far today. Got grounded to a fielder's choice his last time up. Vigil's first pitch gets in there for a strike. Right in the heart of the zone for Praxi.
Oh, yeah, right down Main Street. I guess that's a good starting pitch, just getting into the middle, and then he's going to work his way out.
Vigil has a sign from Amory. Those two worked very well so far. 0-1 coming. That one's hit hard out towards left field. That goes foul. And that had the home run distance, just not the home run spot, I guess you would say.
Looks like he really got out in front of that one, and great power behind that. Hit right in that sweet spot of the barrel, just a little bit too early on his gut.
Vigil's thrown 18 strikes compared to 4 balls so far on the day.
Very efficient, I would say, Logan. Very efficient.
He's ahead on Miller 0-2. Vigil in his windup, fires the 0-2, and that one's going to be hit foul. That'll leave the field of play over the fence on the first base side.
Yeah, Miller just trying to stay alive here, playing a little bit more defensively in the box than as previous at-bats have shown.
Miller struck out once so far today. That came back in the first to open things up. Vigil still struggling to find his sign from Amory. 0-2 coming again. That's going to be just fouled. And that one kind of just went off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it looked like it was just an undercut right there by Miller. Just got the top of the barrel and just flew right back into that netting.
Miller coming over from Bishop State Community College. Still down 0-2 after 2 foul balls. Vigil delivers. That one's being grounded foul out towards third. So we'll do it again.
Yeah, it seems like that Amsterdam manager down that third baseline did not even try to make an attempt. Similar to what Adam Cray did, just a courtesy attempt. Like
Courtesy, ole. Sort of
yeah,
thing.
ole. All he's missing is a funny hat and a red cape.
And the bowl. Don't forget the bowl.
What about the ball?
Yeah. 0-2 again coming from Vigil, and that one's going to be pop foul out towards the first base side. That'll leave the field of play again.
I feel like a good portion of these pitches that Vigil's going to throw is going to come at this at-bat right here.
3 straight foul balls from Gage Miller to work up the pitch count from Praxi. We'll do it all over again. The 0-2 breaking ball hit hard out towards left field, and that gets down for extra bases. Miller going to round first. He's on his way to second. Shackelford gets that one in the corner, and it's going to be fielded, but not before a leadoff double from Gage Miller.
Yeah, that's just a well-worked at-bat right there by Miller. Vigil did all he could to just really work that zone. Miller just staying a little bit patient, yet going aggressive when he finds a pitch he likes. Took a hack at it. It drops down.
Just the second hit that Praxi has allowed in his relief outing. And this one going to be a leadoff hit. And now the K-Man coming up again for Amsterdam. Petrutz coming back up. He struck out back in the first, looking to avoid going down again.
Yeah, it's last licking time for him.
And Petrutz going to check swing that one fair out towards Vigil. Throw on to first. Is going to go wide of Fugers, and that one going to go into the outfield. Miller going to come in scoring. It's now 5-0 Mohawks lead as Petrutz winds up at second.
Ooh. Just a few times that the Stallions have thrown the ball over to first base. Fugers could not pick that off a few times. He's having a rough time at that first base. I don't know if it's going to be a mixture of him being prepared at that first base bag, the inexperience there, or just the throws.
That one was ruled an error on the scoreboard. Still waiting to see if it was on Vigil or Fugers. But nonetheless, it was going to be an error on Praxi Vigil, but nonetheless, it is now 5-0 Amsterdam leads. And now first pitch swing is Coker, and that one goes foul out towards the third base side. So the Stallions continuing to crumble when it matters most against these Mohawks.
Yeah, it seems like they just can't seem to get it together. Just one domino after the other, it seems to be falling in place. One error leads to another, and it just goes haywire.
0-1 coming to Coker, and that one's going to go low for ball one. But you take a look at this Mohawks team when they came in here. They were on a 4-game winning streak. That first game, they took a no-hitter into 8 innings, then a doubleheader victory against Utica, the best team in the West, and then 22 runs in their last game against Glens Falls.
Yeah, and then Glens Falls, they really were trying to stop the game after 5 innings because Amsterdam was up by so much, and it was like, nope, we got to continue. 10 runs after 7, that's the rule.
And Glens Falls did beat Amsterdam earlier in the year, so guess a little payback for that loss. 1-2 coming to Coker, and that one's hit hard out towards shortstop. One hop by Rodriguez. Tries to go for the force out in third. Now they got Petrutz in a rundown. Fish going to tag him to get the force out. What a play from Rodriguez over to Fish to get a big out on the lead runner.
Yeah, that was a great IQ play. I mean, Rodriguez, instead of taking the easy play at first, he sees the runner coming across, decides to go over to Fish, create that rundown. And now that pushes a runner from second all the way back to first.
And Coker did get over towards that first base bag. And now Zach Gardner coming up after the Stallions got the first out in this top of the 7th. Gardner's 2 for 3 so far today with 2 singles. First pitch coming to him is going to be low for ball one. And his single back in the third brought in the first 2 runs of the game, John.
Yeah, that was a huge single roped right into the outfield. I mean,
Vigil continuing to deal here in this 7th inning. 0-1 pitch coming from Praxi, and that one's hit hard out towards left field. That'll send Shackelford back into the warning track. He'll make the grab for the second out. That one was hit hard off the bat by Gardner, but Shackelford caught up to that one quickly to get the second out.
Yeah, he even took that fundamental step back, just trying to get a gauge on where that ball's going to go. He kept going, pedaling back a little bit further, but finally getting underneath that perfect spot to make the grab.
And now in comes Cade Bush. He's 0 for 2 so far today with the sacrifice bunt his last time up. Proved to not mean much after Black struck out right after him, as time was called by the batter in Bush. Runner on at first with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. First pitch coming from Vigil, a check swing from Bush, and he did hold up in time for ball one. Bush has grounded out twice so far today. He's yet to hit the ball out of the infield. 1-0 fire from Vigil, swung on and missed by Bush for the first strike in this at-bat.
And Vigil's trying to go back a little bit, back to that fastball right down the middle. I mean, he had a little bit of a struggle after getting that error, but slowly picking things back up from here.
Count even on Cade. 1-1 coming from V-Hill is going to be grounded out towards third. Fish ranging towards his left. Throw on to first in time for the third and final out, but not before the Mohawks tack on another run on an error from Praxi V-Hill. It's still a 5-0 Amsterdam lead over the Stallions. It's stretch time here at Cantine Field. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up after the break.
Sing along if you're feeling it. As we honor America with the playing of God Bless America.
Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by Steyer's, celebrating over 50 years of keeping you on the road, and by the facility, promoting physical fitness and athleticism in a fun and safe environment. It'll be another inning of work for Luis Misla and the Stallions, running out of time to put runs on the board.
Yeah, and with a heart of a lineup coming up with 5, 6, and 7. Kept Futures so far 0-2 on the night with 2 strikeouts, looking to try to break out of this slump he finds himself in.
And those 5, 6, and 7 hitters, a combined 4 strikeouts on the day, 2 of them coming from the leadoff man in Kip Futures.
Yeah, he seems to be finding himself in quite a bad slump. He's taking the bait on some of those pitches down low. I mean, that's been a common theme for most of these Stallions batters. It's really not beneficial to the team.
And Kip Futures in his last game, he had 3 strikeouts, looking to avoid back-to-back games with that number. Already has 2 strikeouts going down swinging. His last time up was back in the 5th. Now be hitting here to open up this bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch come from Misla to Futures, going to be taken low for ball 1. And last inning in the 6th, the Stallions got 2 runners on to lead off things with a walk and a single, but were able to not move any of those guys. And Futures fouls off the 1-0 pitch. That'll get over the grandstands. Count now even to Kip. Futures coming over from Indiana University is in the transfer portal, one of many players on this team that find themselves in the portal.
And they're trying to look for their big break here in Saugerties.
1-1 coming, and Kip has a tip on it, but it goes in the catcher's glove of Black for a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it seems like Futures is really trying to just put some power behind it and just send it in. He's not really trying to make contact. He's going for power, and that's proving to be very fatal.
1-2 is going to be looked at, and that'll go low for ball 2. But yeah, Futures knew it was a breaking ball, knew he wanted to send that one deep for a home run, but it was just kind of off on his timing. 2-2 to Futures, taken high and outside. Futures able to battle back in the count, now it's full. Amsterdam seeing some action in their bullpen, as is the Stallions. Full count pitch coming to Futures, that's taken low for ball 4. Back-to-back leadoff walks for the Saugerties Stallions, and they have a leadoff man on.
And that could be a huge thing for Misla, especially with that bullpen man slowly just warming up. He's looking like he's finally getting into some throwing in there, and Misla, he's just slowly just taking his time, tying his shoe, gathering himself before facing off against Brett Hecker.
And Hecker coming in. He's 0 for 1 so far in the day with a walk and a strikeout. Hecker looking to put the ball in play for his first time today. Kip Fuger's on at first with no outs, and that Amsterdam coach is basically out of the dugout, but he goes back in, and the first pitch from Hecker is a breaking ball that gets in there for a strike. Looks like the Amsterdam sideline very close to taking out Misla. 0-1 to Brett is going to be chopped out towards the third base side. Coming in on it is Coker. The throw on to first is not in time. Another infield single for the Saugerties Stallions, and this inning shaping up very similarly to the 6th inning.
Yeah, Hecker got on his high horse. It was a slow chopper. Coker just trying to get out in front of it, make the play. He was speeding down that third base line and made the throw just a little too late, and Adam Gray is a little happy about that.
So the Stallions once again have the first 2 runners on in the 7th, and now David Shackelford looking to bring him around. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout so far today. Misla from the stretch. First pitch coming to Shaq. Breaking ball finds his own for strike 1.
Seems like he was going to sit fastball right there. Had his timing perfectly timed for that one, but did not expect something to break.
Fuger's on at second. Heckert on at first. Still no outs for the Stallions in the bottom of the 7th. Both sides with 3 hits on the day. Misla has his sign. The 0-1 upcoming, and that one's going to be chopped foul. That'll hit the netting on the backstop. Action continuing to ramp up in that Amsterdam bullpen should Misla continue to show signs of fatigue. Shackelford looking to stay alive in the at-bat. He's down 0-2. Misla checks the runner at second. 0-2 coming. Breaking ball hit hard out towards left field. Peru's taking a few steps in on it. He'll make the grab out and left for the first out, and both runners going to stay right where they are.
Getting some inklings from that last inning. I believe Jelani Rogers had that fly out to the 7th, so
yeah.
Let's see if TJ Adams can really break the cycle here.
First 3 hitters have repeated history compared to the last inning. And should history continue, that means TJ Adams would strike out looking, because that's what Brandon Fish did. But Stallions hoping for better results. First pitch coming to TJ, a breaking ball in there for a strike. Adams 0 for 1 so far on the day with a strikeout and a walk. Misla has his sign. 0-1 upcoming, and that breaking ball goes well inside, count even.
Yeah, and Adams had to duck out of the way of that one. It looked like it was about to go high and inside, almost chin music, but right at the chest.
Looked like it could have hit his bat there.
It could have.
Count now even on TJ. He takes a long check at second. The 1-1 is pop foul out towards the first base side, and no one will get there.
Yeah, it seemed like Adams, he wanted a piece of that one. It was right in his zone. Just undercut that one.
So TJ in danger of repeating history by striking out. Looking to avoid his second of the day. 2 runners on with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th for the Saugerties Stallions. Find themselves down by 5 runs. 1-2 on the way from Misla, and that one goes high for ball 2 as fireworks kind of came off the exact same time as that pitch was thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Stallions wanted a different version of fireworks going off in Cantine.
We'll see if TJ Adams can provide those fireworks. Maybe a preview of tomorrow. 2-2 count. Taken high for ball 3, and Adams has worked the count full.
Yeah, an opportunity to get the bases loaded here. At least try to drive in 1 run. It could be like, all right, we got that run. Let's go on from here. Let's make it snowball.
Runners have not moved off their respective bases. Adam Cray not showing signs of aggressiveness at third base coach. Full count pitch coming to Adams. That one's grounded out towards Cray at third, and that goes foul. So Adams staying alive as the PA system starts to play that same song.
Yeah, I mean, able to just make that attempt, just that courtesy attempt, as we like to say up here. At least that was coined today.
All your PA music brought to you by Kyle McMullen. Kyle McMullen, bringing the heat out of the PA system.
Look at him going. Not even phased, just locked in.
We'll reset here for the full count. Pitch up again to TJ Adams. Miesla delivers, and that's a high breaking ball for ball 4. Second walk of the inning allowed by Miesla. Now the bases are loaded, and a pitching change will be made.
Yeah, it looks like Miesla's day is done, and now whoever's getting called out of the bullpen has quite the jam to get out of.
You'll find out who's coming in after the break as Miesla's day is done. Can the Stallions convert? Find out after this. Pitching change coming up for the Amsterdam Mohawks, and what might be the biggest pitching change on the night. Miesla's day is done, and Jack Sylvia making his first appearance on the day for Amsterdam.
With a 3-0 record and a .69 ERA in just 7 appearances, throwing 7 strikeouts, allowing 4 hits. So Amsterdam's looking to try to close this thing out and have Sylvia possibly ride this thing the rest of the way there.
And Sylvia going to come in with a big bases loaded jam. Fugers on at first, on at third, he got on with a walk to lead off the inning. Brett Heckard on at second, he got on via an infield single. Then TJ Adams got on as the last batter, he got on via the walk. There's still 1 out for Sylvia to work around. And take a quick look at Luis Miesla's day. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And, of course, he's responsible for all 3 runners out there right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough pickle that Sylvia has to get out of, especially with only 1 out to work with.
And now he'll be facing Alex Rodriguez to lead things off. And Rodriguez had a rough day at the plate so far, 0 for 2 with 2 bad strikeouts.
Yeah, it looks like both of those strikeouts were very low in the strike zone. Let's see if he's learned from his past mistakes.
Sylvia has his sign. First pitch coming from Sylvia to A-Rod. This will be taken for a strike. That was a hard fastball from Sylvia.
And Rodriguez just getting that gauge on that fastball. It's like, all right, he's a little bit more velocity behind that arm. Let's see what else he's got.
Rodriguez looking to cut into this 5-0 Mohawks lead. 0-1 coming. That one's popped up into the shallow right field. Gardner comes in, and he'll make the catch on the right field line, and he'll keep both runners right where they are.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate pop-up right there by Rodriguez. Didn't seem to get too far enough as Gardner was actually pushed in towards that foul line, so he had a great line to home plate if Fugers were to tag up.
It's an unproductive out for Alex Rodriguez, and now it'll be Nico Amory coming up for the Stallions. He is 0 for 0. He walked in both of his at-bats so far today. A walk would do the job for the Stallions. It would at least bring in their first run of the day.
Yeah, and that would be a very productive run. I mean, taking a look there, bases loaded, and 2 outs. I mean, anything at this point.
Sylvia has his sign. First pitch coming to the righty. Amory going to foul that one into the netting. Amory does not have an RBI yet on the year. Actually, he does have 1 RBI, which came in the June 28th game against Mohawk Valley, the second game of that doubleheader. That's his only RBI so far on the year.
We're going to try to find RBI too, especially in a tight situation he finds himself in.
More would be even better. 0-1 coming. Amory looking at that one outside for ball one. Nico 5 for 26 so far on the year. That's a 192 batting average.
But you also have to mention his OBP's up there with the top of the Stallions in like the 30s.
Does walk a good amount,
He does.
including today.
Twice.
Count even to Nico. 1-1 coming, and that one's high for a strike. And Amory in disbelief, as is the Stallion VIP section.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit upstairs, and Cal McMullen striking again with that toilet bowl flush.
So Sylvia just one strike away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. Amory just trying to stay alive in the count, bring it to the top of the lineup. 1-2 coming, and that swung on and missed for strike three. The Stallions are able to load the bases, but bring across no runs. That's how the seventh inning comes to an end here at Kansine Field. It's still a 5-0 game. Big relief outing from Jack Sylvia, and the eighth inning coming up. Don't go anywhere. More Saugerties Stallions baseball coming up after this. New pitcher coming on for the Saugerties Stallions and making his fourth appearance on the mound so far this year is Mason Speaker. The two-way player for the Saugerties Stallions has been hot on the mound in his recent outings and looking to keep that success going.
Yeah, ever since his first appearance against Oneonta in that 11-10 victory. 2 runs given up by Speaker, but since then has only given up 2 hits on 2 appearances.
He had his best outing on the mound on June 29th against Glens Falls when 2 innings, struck out 4 batters, only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk. Looking for more success on the mound so far this year. Taking a quick look at Praxi Vihil's line on the day. He went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits and 1 run, with struck out 3 on the day. Mason Speaker looking to keep it a 5-0 deficit for the Saugerties Stallions.
Yeah, and especially with working how fast that fastball is. It's up in the low to mid 90s. It could provide danger for the Amsterdam Mohawks and keep them off that scoreboard.
Mason Speaker providing one of the faster arms for the Stallion pitching staff, and he's shown it night after night when he's been out there. And now going to be facing 6, 7, and 8 in this Amsterdam lineup, starting out with Mark Black, the catcher. Black 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out his last at-bat. First pitch from Mason to be hit hard out towards right center field. And coming in is Shackelford for the first out.
Similar type of first pitch start for Speaker that Praxi Viejo had earlier in the top of the 5th. 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 out.
Big first out for Mason Speaker in his first pitch thrown. Speaker coming in with a 4.50 ERA in his 4 innings pitched. Now it'll be Cameron Love, who came in as a defensive replacement earlier on in the game. He'll get his first at-bat coming in for Paul Winland. And checking his swing there, and the first base umpire saying he didn't go. So it'll be a ball one to open up. Cameron Love coming over from Rutgers University, a rising junior. 1-0 coming from Speaker. It's being grounded out towards third, and that one just gets foul along the line. Count now even on Cameron Love, who came in a few innings ago. 1-1's taken high and outside for ball two, excuse me.
And for Love, a 274 hitter, drawing 10 walks and 9 strikeouts, really trying to stay a little bit more patient against Speaker.
2-1 on the way from Mason. It's going to be looked at outside for ball three. Cameron Love coming into today hitting 274 on the year with 11 RBIs.
Yeah, and Speaker's trying to get out of this 3-1 hole he finds himself in.
Pitch on the way from Speaker, a check swing, and it's going to be called a strike regardless.
Yeah, it seemed like that was a very good heater right down Main Street. And now full count opportunity, and Speaker could get strikeout number 1 on the night.
He's firing right away. Full count pitch to be hit hard out towards shortstop. Rodriguez almost loses it, and he just has to hold on to it. Rodriguez had trouble on the transfer, and it leads to an infield single for the Mohawks and Love.
Yeah, it seemed like he bobbled it on that backhand. A usually good defender, but just that small bobble in the turn, it could have proved disastrous, but great job at staying patient, just holding on for that and keeping that runner on first base.
That ball was hard hit, and part of the reason why it was ruled a single. And now Michael O'Shaughnessy coming in as a pinch hitter for Jacob Hand. O'Shaughnessy coming over from Davidson University. He's a rising freshman. First pitch he'll see from Mason Speaker's going to be inside for a called strike. And for Amsterdam, that was just their 4th hit on the night, despite scoring 5 runs.
Yeah, very weird night of scoring runs, I'd say. I mean, even a few of those hits have scored in bunches.
The check on to first. Speaker almost overthrew his target in Fugers, but nonetheless, Love was going to be sliding in safely. Speaker ahead of O'Shaughnessy. 0-1 coming to the lefty, O'Shaughnessy, and that one's going to be outside. Amers to dive to his left to keep that one front of the backstop.
Yeah, and Amory has done a very good job behind the plate, just kind of staying right in front of that ball and making sure it doesn't go past him.
O'Shaughnessy again coming in for Jacob Hand. 1-1 coming from Speaker, and that's going to be fouled over the press box. And that'll bounce right back into the Stallion bench and into the arms of Pickle.
Yeah, Pickle's out there trying to do his duties as ball boy.
And he takes his seat right next to Noah DeLuga. Mason Speaker has a second straight hitter in a 2-strike hole, and Kevin Hinchy starting the slow claps. 1-2 coming, and that's to be taken just inside, and that one was way too close, and it draws a really negative reaction from the VIP section.
Ooh, I had a sour reaction to that. Like I took a bite out of a lemon. Wow. I thought that was strike 3 right there.
Well, Mason Speaker gonna have to do it all over again. 2-2 on the way. Cut on and miss for strike 3. This time Mason gets his strikeout, and there's 2 away in the 8th.
And that right there, poetic justice right there for Speaker.
You know, it's said in basketball, but we could use it in baseball terms too. Ball don't lie.
Simple as that, folks. Ball don't lie.
And now it'll bring up Nick Giamarusti, the number 9 hitter for Amsterdam. First pitch coming, and that's going to be hit out towards the left field side. Rodriguez going to get the force out on Codier, and that's how the top of the 8th comes to an end. Mason Speaker pitches a scoreless inning for the Saugerties Stallions, and it is still 5-0. Amsterdam holds on to the lead. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Saugerties Stallions baseball brought to you by the Emerson Report. Treat yourself to a getaway at the Emerson. And by Ulster Federal Credit Union. Get rewarded with Ulster Federal Credit Union. And by Ulster Savings, your full-service bank from checking to loans, insurance, and investment services. They also sponsor our broadcast booth.
Yes, sir. The Ulster Savings broadcast booth and player of the game.
Should there be a player of the game, it would take a lot from the Stallions offense to have that happen. Yesterday came on the pitching side with James Riley. Today, the offense kind of has to pick up a little bit of the slack.
Yeah, a little bit of the slack indeed. I mean, a 5-run deficit, only having 3 hits on the night. And the top of the order coming up. It could get good, folks.
And starting off the top of the order to be Max Codier. Max is 1 for 2 so far today. Had an infield single his last time up back in the 6th. 2 of the 3 Stallions hits so far, John, have come off infield singles. 1 from Codier, 1 from Brett Hecker.
Yeah, and those low choppers, and they're just using their speed to just beat out the throws.
First pitch coming to Max is going to be high for ball 1, and Jack Sylvia back out for his first full inning of work. He got out of a big base-loaded jam without allowing any runs.
Yeah, and that was the bottom of the order with Rodriguez and Amory stepping up to bat.
1-0 on the way. Codier going to look at that one outside for ball 2. Codier did walk once in this game. That came back in the first. Codier's already had an eventful day in his debut of this season. He has a single. He has an error. He has a nice catch out at the second base side. 2-0 coming. That's going to be taken inside for a called strike, and Codier was moving away towards that one, and that was called a strike regardless.
I'm shocked. I really want to know what's considered inside. I mean, that was basically right out of his hands.
So instead of 3-0, it's now a 2-1 count coming to Codier. Sylvia delivers, and Codier going to look at that one for ball 3 outside, and Codier should have a 4-pitch walk, but instead, it's still 3-1.
I mean, poetic justice again. Anyone?
We'll
Nope.
see. Sylvia hasn't allowed a walk in his 2 batters faced back in the 7th. He forced Rodriguez to fly out and Amory to strike out. 3-1 on the way to Codier, and that one's taken high for ball 4. And John, I'm gonna do it again. You're gonna say with me. Ready? Ball don't lie. A leadoff walk for the Saugerties Stallions, the 3rd time in a row they have had a leadoff walk.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a huge runner on first, and if my spidey senses are tingling, Rogers infield single, anyone?
That would be the pattern. Jelani Rogers going to come up for his 4th at-bat today, looking to keep his hitting streak alive. 0 for 3 so far today. First pitch coming to Jelani. He's going to be taken for a strike on the breaking ball. And that hitting streak for Rogers so far is a 4-game hitting streak. Has 5 hits during those games. Codier getting a lead off first with no outs. 0-1 coming. That one's taken outside by Jelani.
In jeopardy of losing that hitting streak right there.
Yeah, this unless a miracle happens for the Stallions, this would likely be Jelani Rogers' last at-bat on the day. And last chance to keep that streak alive.
Great opening to the 4th of July here in Saugerties.
0-1 on the way, and that's popped up into the infield. Second baseman and Miller ranging towards it. He's called off for Love, and Love going to make the grab at shortstop for the first out in this bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, once again, Rogers getting under that one, popping it straight up. Just having a rough time at the plate tonight.
And now to bring up Brandon Fish for the Saugerties Stallions. He's 1 for 3 with a double so far today. Last time up, he was batting with 2 runners on and struck out looking. This time batting with just 1 runner on in Codier. First pitch coming from Sylvia, and Fish can hit that one hard on the right side for a base hit. Codier able to advance to second. That's the 2nd hit of the day for Brandon Fish. This time it's a single.
Yeah, and Brandon Fish able to still find that ball on the barrel, just drive it on out. And now 2 base runners on. I mean, a little bit of a different pattern, but again, a similar situation from last time.
The 3rd straight inning, actually, the Stallions have had 2 base runners reach, and that'll bring up Easton Bertrand. Bertrand's had a rough day at the dish so far. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Last time he flew out to right field. Sylvia looks back at second. First pitch to Bertrand, swung on and missed for strike one on the low breaking ball. Cody A on at second. Brandon Fish getting lead off first, with Bush not even holding him. Bertrand looking to put the ball in play and advance these runners for the Stallions. 0-1 coming to Sylvia, and Bertrand hits that one foul out towards the left side, and that'll get out of play. So Bertrand in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, and Bertrand really getting out in front of Sylvia, trying to get a little bit of aggression going on and possibly just hoping that a little bit of contact can really help drive in some runs.
Bertrand in danger of the hat trick tonight, trying to avoid his third strikeout. 0-2 coming from Sylvia again. Bertrand hits that one out towards shallow left center field, and that's going to be caught by Peruz. He had to run a country mile to catch that one, and that's the second out.
Yeah, well hit ball. I was whispering to myself to have it just drop shallow. I mean,
That's what I thought would happen.
yeah, I thought it would drop too, but I did not expect the left fielder in Protrudes to just rush right in.
There were three Mohawks, the left fielder, center fielder, and shortstop, all racing for that one in shallow left field, and it would be Protrudes to get the out. And now Kip Fugers coming up for the Saugerties Stallions. Fugers led off the 7th inning with a walk, made it as far as third base. First pitch coming to him is to be taken for a strike right down the middle. Fugers has also struck out twice today. That was both prior to the walk. Still 2 runners on and 2 outs for the Saugerties Stallions, looking for their first runs of the day. 0-1 on the way to Kip, and he hits that one hard out towards the middle of the infield, and that drops for a base hit. Cody around third, he's on his way home. The throw comes in, and he slides in safely. It's an RBI single from Kip Fugers, and the Stallions have finally got on the scoreboard. It's still 5-1 Amsterdam.
Wow. Well hit by Fugers, able to finally get out of that slump, score the newcomer in Cody, and 4 runs away from tying this ball game up.
No shutout from Cantine today. The Stallions finally able to get themselves on the board, and for Kip Fugers, his second time reaching base today. Brandon Fish almost got caught out at second on that play, but he's able to slide back in safely. And now Brett Heckert going to come in to keep the action going, but first it'll be a mound visit from the Amsterdam coach.
Yeah, he seems to be not happy with that call at that second base bag, and Keith Griffin is just slowly going to walk back out.
And that was a quick visit to the base umpire, and Griffin going to walk back to the Amsterdam dugout. And now in will come Brett Heckert, who is 1 for 2 so far today, had an infield single in the very last inning.
Yeah, and Heckert, he could really open this game up with one swing of the bat. I mean, we've been talking about all game long on how hot his bat has been as of late. 11 hits in his last 10 games.
First pitch coming to Brett, and that one's going to be a breaking ball in there for a called strike right down the middle. Brandon Fish stands at second. Fugers on at first. Still 2 outs for the Stallions, looking to keep the action going. 0-1 coming from Sylvia, and Heckert has to duck out of the way of that one. A little chin music there. Count even. Heckert did have an RBI in the Oneonta game back on June 29th. That's the last time he had a run batted in. Count even to the extra hitter. Pitch on the way, and Heckert going to ground that one out towards third. That stays in fair territory, and Coker steps on third for the force out. And it looks like this is going to be called a foul ball. That was a late foul ball call from the umpire out on second base, and Heckert gets an extra life.
Yeah, that was a huge life right there. It seemed like it could have been straight into the dugout, top of the ninth for Amsterdam to get some insurance runs, but nope. Heckert gets another lifeline.
Heckert's still down in the count 1-2 after that extra life granted by the umpire. Pitch on the way. Heckert swings and misses for strike 3, and Black able to tag him out for the force, and that's how things come to an end here in the 8th inning. So ball don't lie playing into effect in the Amsterdam side of things, but not before the Stallions are able to get their first run of the afternoon, and it's still a 5-1 Mohawks lead as we head into the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Ninth inning of action coming up here from Canton Field as the Stallions are able to get one run but nothing more back in the 8th inning. Now Mason Speaker back out for inning number 2 of work on the mound.
Yeah, and Mason Speaker taking a look at his last inning of work. Ground up, fly out, force out, and a strikeout after a single for the second batter. And now he's facing the top of the order, and a very potent top of the order from Amsterdam.
And coming up first will be Gage Miller for the Mohawks. He is 1 for 4 so far today, had a double his last time up back in the 7th. First pitch coming from Speaker is going to be grounded out towards third. Fish has to come charging in. The throw on to first is in time. That was caught beautifully on the hop by Kip Fugers, and there's one pitch, one out for Mason Speaker.
Just like back in the 8th inning, one pitch, one out already. So he's picking up right where he left off, Logan.
Yes, he is. And now to bring up Petruch, the man formerly known as the K-Man. No chance at 2-for-1s now if this late into the game.
I mean, the fans are able to get some early on back in that first inning.
They got some in the first with that strikeout, and first pitch to Petruch is going to be inside for ball 1. Petruch so far today, he is 0 for 4. Reached on an error his last time around, then error charge to Praxi Vigil of the Stallions. He's ahead 1-0 on Speaker. Pitch coming, that's going to be grounded right out towards first, and Fugers right there. He steps on the bag for the second out. 2 quick outs for Mason Speaker to open things up in the 9th.
Yeah, and that's very good 2 outs right here. Very productive, possibly a threat out of the bullpen. A little bit of a Shohei Ohtani type of twinkle right here for the Stallions.
Well, the last time we did play-by-play, I had to listen to Ori call Noah DeLuca Clayton Kershaw. And I was listening to your Shohei Ohtani comparison.
Listen, I have to, give credit where credit's due, man.
I mean, he is a two-way player like Shohei Ohtani, but that might be where the comparisons end.
Yeah.
Now the 0-1 pitch coming to Brett Coker. It's going to be taken outside for ball number 1. And another thing, Mason Speaker, when he plays offense, he's a catcher. Ohtani's more of an outfield type guy.
Yeah,
maybe a DH.
I mean, outfielders catch.
Everyone catches in the baseball field.
I'm really trying to make this work, Logan. I'm really trying to make this work.
You're not doing a good job. 1-1 coming from Speaker is to be taken inside. Coker tried to check his swing. It'll be rule the ball regardless.
Yeah, he seemed a little bit spooked right there. Just a little bit more inside, trying to avoid getting hit by his third pitch.
Speaker behind in the count 2-1. Pitch upcoming, and this time Coker could not check his swing. It's now 2-2 count. Coker's been hit by a pitch twice in the game. 2-2 from Speaker as he grounded out towards third. Fish again ranging to his left. Throw on to first, going to be in time for the third and final out. 1-2-3 inning for Mason Speaker, and it's last licks time for your Saugerties Stallions. They need 4 runs to keep this one going. It's 5-1 Amsterdam heading into the bottom of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. More action coming up from the Ulster Savings broadcast booth. Bottom of the ninth coming up for the Saugerties Stallions. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 coming up to face the new pitcher for the Amsterdam Mohawks as Santosh Gautam looks to close things out.
Yeah, with a 1.28 ERA and allowing no runs on 3 hits with 2 innings pitched against the Utica Blue Sox back on July 1st. So getting a little bit of rest before going back out here trying to shut it down.
David Shackelford going to be the first man to face him. He's 0 for 3 so far today with 2 flyouts. And the Stallions, in each of their last 3 innings, have allowed at least 2 runners to reach base, but have only 1 run to show for it.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look here, more hits than Amsterdam, 5-4 in favor of the Stallions, but it's just that Amsterdam has been able to get hit RBIs in bunches from just one single swing of the bat, and the Stallions, they couldn't really get on base multiple times, and the walks really helped the Mohawks.
Stallions need 4 runs at least to send this one into extras. Shackelford in the box, ready to go. First pitch coming from Gautam is going to be taken right down the middle for strike 1. Shackelford was on a 3-game hitting streak. That is on the line in this at-bat. As the 0-1 is taken high for ball 1. So count now even at 1 to Shackelford. Pitch coming from Gautam, a breaking ball going to get just inside for strike 2. A big upset in the East Division. Glens Falls defeating Albany 2-1. Glens Falls has now beaten both the top 2 teams in the division. They beat Amsterdam earlier in the year. 1-2 coming to Shackelford. A breaking ball just misses on the inside. That was in a very similar spot to the last pitch that was called a strike.
It was. I mean, just inside on Shackelford. But can we go back to that Glens Falls win over Albany? That would be huge for the Stallions, considering they are 2 games back from the Dutchman for 2nd place.
2-2 coming to Shack, and that's pop foul out towards the first base side. That'll leave the field of play. And should the Stallions go on a miracle run and win this game, they would only be 1 game back of Albany. And these Stallions play Albany tomorrow, so if they were to win that game,
it would be a huge rubber match here on the 4th of July.
That's a big if. They still have to come back in this game. 2-2 coming is going to be looked low for ball 3. Even if the Stallions don't hold on, they will still be 2 games back of Albany, where they started today, with a chance to make it 1 tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's going to be a huge 4th of July game. So tune in, folks, 7:05.
Full count pitch from Gautam. Shack can hit that one right back to him. Gautam going to go on an underhand throw onto first for the first out. So Shack was able to work it to a full count, but didn't get the result he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good comebacker. Shackelford doing his best to try to stay alive in the bat, but just a chopper right to Gautam. And 1 out away here for Amsterdam.
Got him on that full count pitch. That was a bad joke.
If there was a door in this press box, I'd tell you to go through it. I'd tell you to go through it, man. That's just not tasteful.
And C.J. Adams taking a fastball in there for a strike. He's 0 for 1 so far today with 2 walks and a strikeout. Takes the next pitch wide and outside. Count now even at 1. Stallions still looking for that first base runner here in the 9th. Gautam has his sign. 1-1 coming, and he hits, and Adams hits that one out towards shortstop. Love on the backhand stop, throw on to first in time, and Bush almost in a split at first, and the Stallions are down to their final out.
Yeah, with Alex Rodriguez coming up, having a little bit of a rough night at the plate. Over 3, 2 strikeouts. Let's see if he can really change his body language up here and at least get some 2-out magic rolling.
And Rodriguez with 2 strikeouts and a bases-loaded flyout in his last at-bats, looking to put the ball in play and keep the Stallions in this contest. First pitch coming to A-Rod is going to be taken outside for ball 1. And in his last 2 games, Rodriguez has 5 strikeouts. 1-0 on the way. Rodriguez going to look at that one just outside, or inside, excuse me, for ball 2.
And it seemed like it was low, so Rodriguez just holding off on those low pitches.
2-0 now from Gotham, and Rodriguez hits that one hard out towards short, and that hits Love hard in the face, and Rodriguez gets on first with a hit, and Love is down. That took a bad hop right in front of him.
That's not good.
And we'll take a quick break as the training staff checks on Love. Welcome back to Stallions Baseball. We took a quick momentary pause in the action as Cameron Love took a hard hit to the face, and he was able to get back up, thankfully, as it's a great sign to see that he is okay. And with 1 out remaining in this game, that's definitely not the sign that anyone here wants to see, as the stadium remains dead silent, John.
No, not at all. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, that was just a rough bounce right there and hit Love right in the face, and a few towels just coming out here to make sure that he's going to be okay. And great reaction right there by the training staff to just come out there, immediately put some pressure on it to try to stop the bleeding.
And Love will be coming out of the game for the Mohawks. We definitely wish the best for all of them here in the Ulster Savings broadcast, but we wish that he does come back healthy.
Yeah, I mean, and now taking his place will be Michael O'Shaughnessy. I believe Coker's going to try to move back to that shortstop position, and O'Shaughnessy over at third.
So Rodriguez will get on, what would be called an infield single. A big break for Rodriguez as the game does keep going. It was a hit that Rodriguez needed, but definitely not the way he wanted to get it.
No, not at all. I wonder what's going through his mind right now. I mean, especially considering the circumstance of that, just a little bit of a rough bounce right to Cameron Love's head. I mean, hopefully he's okay. I mean, all eyes are going to be on him to see if he's going to be okay. I mean, keeping that pressure on the towel, just making sure that he's going to be okay for the next game he's available for.
And now we resume action as Nico Amory heads up to the dish for the Stallions. Runner on first with 2 outs. First pitch coming to him is going to be taken low on a breaking ball. Amory is 0 for 1 so far today with a strikeout and 2 walks.
Still, that OBP rises for Amory.
Rodriguez on at first with 2 outs. Pitch coming from Gotham's going to be taken right down the middle for a strike on a fastball. Amory looking to keep the Stallions in this one and send it better yet to the top of the lineup. Count now even on Nico. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be check swing and a call strike. And the Stallions are now down to their final strike.
And Amory, again, staying patient on here. Maybe he's going to get the green light here to try to take a hack at it and get something on base, maybe even drive in Rodriguez from first.
Infield playing back, not holding Rodriguez. 1-2 coming, swung on and missed for strike 3. Amory goes down swinging, and that's going to wrap things up here at Canton Field as the Amsterdam Mohawks defeat the Saugerties Stallions once again. They win 5-1 here at Canton Field, and the Stallions' winning streak comes to an end at 3.
Yeah, I mean, the Stallions did have a great opportunity to really try to get things going here. Face off against Amsterdam, who has been rolling here, now make it 5 straight wins. And after what happened to Cameron Love, hopefully he'll be okay. But to the Stallions, they have a big game coming up soon against Albany.
Yeah, and as for the Amsterdam Mohawks, their lead continues to widen on the rest of the teams in the East Division. Another win against the third-place Stallions, their 5th in a row, as it was a big home loss for the Stallions, but definitely a bigger game coming up tomorrow night, John.
Yeah, and especially considering that the Stallions are 2 games still behind the Albany Dutchmen, considering their 2-1 loss against the Glens Falls Dragon. Amsterdam increasing their lead to 8 games above second place, so a huge battle for that second place spot as the Stallions are slowly trying to separate themselves from the rest of the pack.
So the stage is set for tomorrow night, John. 4th of July, fireworks night, the 3rd time it's been against the Albany Dutchmen, and a big division game against those Dutchmen. They're already 2 games back of Albany in the East Division, so a win would cut that lead in half for the Saugerties Stallions.
It would, and it would be a huge win, especially on the 4th of July, which people from Saugerties, they come for this game. They do it big here.
It's a big parade coming up in the morning of July 4th, and the whole team will be in attendance as well. It'll be a fun day leading up to some July 4th baseball, which I'm sure every kid loves to, or really just dreams of playing in that kind of environment.
Oh, yes, and a lot of uniform spectacles coming up for the Stallions, a lot of celebrations, games, and even fireworks coming up here in Canton.
It's one of the best scenes in the movie Sandlot, but until then, that'll wrap it up for our coverage from Canton Field. For my broadcast partner and John Drager, for our PA man and Colin McMullen, for our entire team here at the Ulster Savings broadcast booth, I'm Logan Brandis. We thank you for listening to our coverage of Sunday Night Baseball, and until tomorrow, have a great rest of your night.